Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas for Day 4 of this 2019 ACHA National Tournament. Glad you could be with us. I'm Justin DeVellis. The handsome young man next to me is none other than Quinn Kuski. And speaking of handsome, this Ohio Bobcats offense, their go-to guy so far in the tournament, Tyler Harkins, 5-point performance Friday against UNLV. He's coming off a hat trick in the first round. And Ohio really just handled business against UNLV, kind of looking to do the same thing here today against Iowa State, Quinn.
Yeah, they are, and they have a very high-powered offense. And something of interest, Harkins, seeing him put up 5 points, not a huge surprise. He had a 34-point regular season. Guy's been killing it all year. But for Iowa State, Jackson Graham, he had 2 goals yesterday against Stony Brook, and that matched his goal total for the entire regular season. The guy comes out, plays 1 game with the lights on, and matches his total from 15 games in the regular season. Some people perform better in those high-pressure situations. Graham appears to be one of those guys, so we got to keep an eye out for him today. Yeah,
and these two teams are no stranger to the big stage. They know each other. They've played each other already this season. Ohio defeating Iowa State in their conference tournament 2-1. Now, that conference, all 5 teams in that conference are also in this national tournament. They all made it. So some great hockey is being played in that conference, and now it's translated here. Interconference rivals are on the stage to start Day 4 of this already amazing national tournament.
Yeah, these are 2 teams. They both play in the CSCHL. They both know each other really well, and they both do not like each other at all. And they very, very conflicting styles between these 2 teams. You have Ohio State. They want to play fast, high-pace hockey, high-octane offense, a lot of scoring. And Iowa State is the exact opposite. They want to pin you along the boards. They want to keep play to the outside. They want to slow things down and rely on the counterattack to get their opportunities.
And Ohio can score early. They scored their first goal against UNLV a mere minutes into the game. So watch out for that quick start from Ohio. Now on the other end, Iowa State, you got a little bit of defense, goaltending. Talk about the Cyclones' defense and how they might be able to stop the Bobcats today.
Yeah, I mean, the Cyclones' defense, like I said, they swarmed Stony Brook when they played them. Stony Brook had a very high-powered offense as well, and they just had nowhere to go. Every time that the puck would be in the offensive zone, Stony Brook was on the outside. If they managed to get it in the middle, which would take a very long time to pull off, their shot got blocked. They never could get it through. And one thing that would be interesting, though, I don't know how good Iowa State's style of play will work if they're playing from behind. So if Ohio can go and get one early, you might see them panic.
So definitely not the formula for an Ohio State win is an early goal from Ohio. You can't get behind early. Now, Ohio, 19 players in double digits in points this season. So they have a very good offense. They also have a netminder that's also very good between the pipes for them.
Yeah, you have 2 goalies here in Matt Gadecki and Jimmy Thomas, both playing in the first round of this tournament. Jimmy Thomas led in 1. Gadecki had the shutout. Gadecki with a 26-save shutout. Jimmy Thomas saved 27 of 28 shots. Both netminders were very good in this tournament. Both netminders were very good all season, and I'm expecting to see more of the same here. Low-scoring affair.
So on paper, it's 4 versus 5. It should be a great matchup. Now we're going to send it down to Andy Storrs, the off-ice official, and he's going to give us some starting lineups.
Center in Frisco, Texas, for the 2019 American Collegiate Hockey Association Men's Division I National Championship Tournament, hosted by the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dallas Stars, and the Children's Health Stars Center Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Storrs. Game number 13 this week, starting this morning, features on the visiting bench the number 5-ranked Iowa State University Cyclones. And on the home team bench, the number 4-ranked Ohio University Bobcats. Let's meet the starting lineups for this morning's game. First, on the visiting bench, the Iowa State Cyclones. In goal, a senior from Ankeny, Iowa, number 35, Matt Gadecki. On defense, a sophomore from Northfield, Minnesota, number 4, Max Olson. On defense, a senior from Calgary, Alberta, number 6, Nick Sandy. At center, a sophomore from Red Wing, Minnesota, number 18, Dylan Goggin. At left wing, a freshman from Park Ridge, Illinois, number 22, C.J. Banser. And at right wing, a senior from Skokie, Illinois, number 9, Trevor Sabo. The head coach of the Cyclones is Jason Fairman. His assistant is Scott Isman. And now let's meet the starting lineups for the home team bench. The Ohio University Bobcats. In goal, a junior from White House, Ohio, number 30, Jimmy Thomas. On defense, a junior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 11, Jacob Houston. On defense, a junior from Fairfax, Virginia, number 13, Nick Gross. At center, a senior from Commerce Township, Michigan, number 10, Brian Lubin. At left wing, a senior from Northfield, Ohio, number 27, Matthew Rudin. And at right wing, a junior from Worcester, Ohio, number 22, Tyler Harkins. Head coach of the Bobcats is Sean Hogan. His assistant is Michael Guggen. The athletic trainer is Phil Breslovich. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps and join me, soloist Andy Storrs and organist Gary Lichthart, in the singing and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight we watched were so gallantly streamed.
And welcome back. Thank you, Andy. Welcome back to the Comerica Center in Frisco. Ready to get things rocking here. Day 4. It's number 4 against number 5. Ohio taking on Iowa State. Ohio in the whites.
Yeah, you got the Iowa State Cyclones rocking that burgundy and gold, just, a classic color if you're maybe a fan of the Big 12 or, you watched Iowa State go there, anything like that. That's just such an iconic color for them. And you got the Bobcats in the white with the green trim. This is set to be a good matchup. I'll be very surprised if this isn't a one-goal game at the end of it all.
Yeah, we've had a few of those. We've had some games that have started very close, ended up lopsided. Some that teams came from behind to make it close. But we're set to face it off at center ice. And Iowa State's going to win the opening draw. And we're going to have the first whistle here. It's out of play.
Anytime that puck gets batted into the bench like that, you'll see the coaches, especially at the college level, the coaches will be hitting the deck. The players have the face shields on, so it's not as big a deal for them, but coaches got to watch out.
So we do it again at center ice, and this time Ohio controls it. Ohio and Iowa. Ohio trying to move it, and the pass is stolen here. But Ohio regains possession. It's going to be Jacob Houston coming up the left side, almost loses it. Puck is loose. Shot on, it's deflected. And Iowa State has it. Now it's kind of just sent across. Ohio's trying to regain it. Iowa with a line change. Here come the Bobcats. Just lost the puck. That was Gianni Evangelisti. Going to be calling his name a lot today. And Ohio has it. It's Hazel. Knocked up along the board. Shot thrown in front. But nothing doing. Ohio regains possession. Kyle Craddock coming back the other way across the blue line. No offside shot. Just wide. Ohio has it up at the point, and it's deflected by Tony Uglum and sails out of play. We will have a face-off.
Yeah, and right there you're seeing the prowess of that Iowa State defense. Ohio just had quite a bit of zone time, working the cycle, trying to find a shot. And if you look up at that board, still 0 shots on goal. They just haven't found a good opportunity yet, and they've been cycling for a little over a minute.
Yeah, and you got to win the draw here. Iowa State does. And they tried to send it across. It's Grolum who gets it out. It's Tommy Hansen. Shot just sails high. And Ohio controls it. Here comes Evangelisti. Cross center ice. Across the blue line. Here he comes, left wing. Shot on the goal. Just missed. Ohio rebound. It's Evangelisti again behind the goal. Swings it out. Lampin shot is deflected. Iowa State getting in front of a lot of these pucks early on.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to stay in those shooting lanes. If they, like I said at the top of the broadcast, if you get into the middle, they're standing slam in front of you. You can't get the shot on frame. And if you're Ohio, you just got to keep working it. They'll break through eventually, but you got to keep working it, and you can't get aggravated. Because you get aggravated, that's how you go to the box.
Jared Erickson thought he won that draw, but it kicks back Ohio's way. And there's Erickson again. He's taking it across center ice. Shot on the goal. Very deep shot, but patted away.
It's our first shot of the game.
17:47 left in the first period. Score 0-0. As Iowa State has a shot. Throws it in front of the net. Good chance here. Just missed. Erickson tried to clean it up, but couldn't. Couldn't get a stick on it. But a good little sequence there. If you're Iowa State, you get inside and you get a pretty good chance at the goal. 2 shots now for the Cyclones.
Yeah, that was probably our best chance of the game so far, and definitely the best offensive series of the game. Erickson just about had that one. If he could have gotten his stick on that rebound, you're probably looking at him potting it in the back of the net, and we got 1-0 Cyclones early.
So Grolum and Sabo, 2 points for the Cyclones so far in that game one. They each had 2. And Iowa trying to keep it in their zone. They can't. They keep the puck, but they have to bring it back out. C.J. Banser works it inside, shot, but Banser misses just off balance. Didn't get the shot he wanted there.
Yeah, but you do see right there, you see why Sabo had 2 assists yesterday. That kind of feed right into the high slot for a one-timer for Banser. He just couldn't quite catch it.
And somebody lost their glove. It's out on the ice, recontrolled. And Ohio has it. This is going to be Nick Gross, the junior out of Fairfax, Virginia. Ohio moving it across the blue line. We'll have a whistle. Looks like it's going to be an offsides.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they called the offsides there because Iowa State had gained possession, but I believe Ohio had it right when they crossed the line, so could have probably let it go, but never hurts to just make the call either.
16:39 left in the first period. Remember, Ohio scored their first goal of their last game on the power play, and maybe no penalties yet, but that'll be something to look out for the rest of the way is the power play for each team. No penalties yet so far today.
Yeah, Iowa State was very disciplined against Stony Brook. They went to the box 3 times by the end of the game, but that was starting to get to the emotions running high portion of the matchup against Stony Brook. Through the first 2 periods, they didn't take 1 penalty until they were already up 3-0. They're they're well-coached hockey club, and I'll be surprised if they spend a whole lot of time in the box this game.
Yeah, 2 very well-coached teams. We talked about Ohio's Sean Hogan, he's been there for 5 seasons. He's actually leaving after this season. As Ohio tries to get something going on their offensive end, Lubin dumps it in, but nobody there for the Bobcats. Iowa State takes control. Across that Dallas Stars logo at center ice. Gross has it for the Bobcats, but a little bit of line change. Harkins skates on, but then comes back off as Ohio dumps it in. Chasing after it is Drew Magyar. He's got it behind the net, trying to dump it forward. He's looking for Higgins, I believe it was, in front of the net. And it's knocked up along the boards here. It's kind of frozen as Ohio and Iowa State are going at it. Shot on goal, but it's knocked in between the pads. Blocked by Tony Uglum.
Yeah, that puck actually got lost in the padding of Uglum. Like, they had to just blow play dead. They didn't know if that puck was going to resurface or not.
And I was going to say, I was looking for the puck. I thought it was a shot on goal, and Uglum's kind of holding his jersey there. It's stuck in his jersey. And Ohio wins the draw. Shot, but blocked by Gedicke.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they wind up counting that as a shot on goal, because that was not on frame. Gedicke went ahead and came out and stopped it anyway. But that would have hit the side netting, and it looks like they're not going to count it. So Ohio still without a shot on frame a quarter of the way through this first period.
Yeah, shots still 2-0. 15-19 to go in the first period of this quarterfinal matchup. Iowa State skating right to left. Ohio steals it in their offensive end. Wrapped around. Knocked along the boards. A nice hit there from Adam Alcott. And Iowa State is on the rush here. Across the blue line, across the center line. Tries to dump it in, but it's stolen. That was Hazel, who got a stick on it. Was able to knock it loose and stop the rush. And Hazel finds the puck again. He's trying to get by. Good little poke there as Hunter Dolan steals it for the Cyclones, but facing pressure from the Bobcats as they have it behind their own net. Kind of just flipped, glove down, and controlled, but Ohio's going to have it across the center line. They don't have numbers. And it's flipped, stolen by the Cyclones. It's Lee here. Dumping it in, kind of even pace so far. Big hit.
Yeah, you had that first big hit from Alcott, and that kind of started off the physical play. Now you've had a second big hit from Iowa State. It'll be interesting to see if Ohio decides to respond.
New skaters on for Iowa State as Evangelisti flips it ahead. And we're going to have a whistle.
Yeah, Goggin just took a run at Evangelisti he came off the bench. Evangelisti was on the far side of the ice, and he came in absolutely flying. Stopped skating at the last second so he wouldn't get the charge, and Evangelisti saw him at the corner of his eye and put on the brakes, but that was almost a monstrous hit.
13:56 left in the first period. Shots still 2-0 in favor of Iowa State. Ohio just haven't seen that high-octane offense just yet, but there's the feeling that it's coming. Grant Hazel dumps it ahead to Kyle Craddock, the sophomore out of Dayton, Ohio. And here come the Cyclones across the blue line. It's going to be C.J. Banser, I think that was, but he's knocked up along the boards. A big hit. Ohio steals it away.
Banser got hit hard enough that it broke his stick.
Dumped in. That's Craddock. Evangelisti working with it. Now Craddock is going for it, facing good pressure. Justin Paulson for Iowa State puts the pressure on. Ohio's got a chance here. But here comes Iowa State. Cyclones dump it in. That was Higgins trying to keep it in. Here's Erickson. Shot on goal, nothing. Ohio gets the rebound. There's a stick loose, and the Bobcats come back the other way. Dumped in, and chasing after it is Harkins. Harkins has it. Behind the net. Gets it out to the point. Just at the blue line, keeping it in. Kind of an errant pass there, and really not a shot. It was almost just a pass, but very weak. And we'll have an icing upcoming.
Yeah, and I hate to keep talking about Iowa State's defense, but all this game has been so far is Iowa State's defense. It's still 2-0 in shots on goals. I knew this was going to probably wind up being a very low-scoring and defensive game, but if you told me there would be 2 shots in 6.5 minutes, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are now, and it's been nothing but domination from Iowa State's defense. And, the Bobcats, they just need to get something going here.
6.5 gone, as you said, in the first period. 12:36 to go. We have a little stop here. We had some stoppages for the boards last night. And one of the referees is holding on to a stick, bringing it over to the Iowa State bench as both teams skate to their respective benches.
Yeah, that was the stick of C.J. Banser. He got hit over in the corner where they're looking at boards now, it appears. And that was where C.J. Banser took a shot. And it wound up, it was a hit hard enough to break the stick of Banser, so it might have broken our boards as well.
And it was a hard hit. We've seen some stuff on that side with the boards. Remember, I can't remember who exactly it was, but somebody got hit into those boards the other day, and one of the doors actually opened because the hit was so hard, and the door might have been just jarred loose a little bit.
Yeah, these boards have a lot of action to them too, and that really doesn't help those poor stanchions. That's what keeps happening. The glass pops out of the stanchions because the boards give so much. It reminds me a lot of Joe Louis Arena back in the day with the Detroit Red Wings, where those boards have so much action. You can really bank pucks off of the boards and put them back out into the far side of the net. You haven't really seen a team try that, but as this tournament goes on and teams are starting to recognize just how active these boards are, it'll be real interesting to see if they're willing to give it a go.
Yeah, and I think it's a very good time to mention also that you're watching this broadcast on the ACHA network. And stick around after intermission, or during intermission, I should say, for our intermission report. I have a lot of good stuff coming up for you. This game just getting started. The shots 2-0, and 7.5 minutes are gone, but this is going to be a long game, and we're gearing up for some very good competition. So the game's in a break. We're going to take a break. We're going to send it to commercial, and when we return, we'll have action again for you. You are watching the ACHA National Tournament on the ACHA Network. And welcome back to the Comerica Center in Frisco. Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski here during the first period as a little stoppage in play. We're getting a little fixing of the glass, so to speak.
Yeah, if you've been watching this whole tournament, this is nothing new. I mean, this is now the third time we've had a glass issue, starting with the 5 o'clock game last night. You're going to see, I mean, this is the hit. This is the hit that I was talking about. It broke Banter's stick, and you see how much give those boards have on that hit right there. And that just popped the glass right out of the stanchion. Now they got to try to fix it. And if we learned anything from yesterday, if they pop it back in and there's another hit right on that glass, it's going to pop out again. And I said to Justin over commercial break, I said maybe we just need to play this where no body checking. We can only have body contact, because clearly if we have too much body checking, the boards can't handle it right now. These guys are playing too hard, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. There's been a lot of physical play, a lot of physical teams, and we saw it in the last game last night.
Yeah, I mean, you have Davenport cracked a pane of glass with a slap shot, and that had to get replaced. And then you have Arizona Liberty where there's a hit on the behind the goal on the same side. You can actually see it with the camera angle we're on right now. You can see the yellow cord there on those two panes of glass. That was the fix last night for the glass. That's not going to work for this pane of glass because it's in the corner. You can't do that as easily here as you could right on a straightaway like that.
Yeah. And obviously everybody here, all the tournament officials they've been doing such a great job dealing with this issue. And you just wish everything could be perfect, but obviously some things do go wrong, and they're trying their very best. They got the ladder out, and these teams, some of the players headed to the locker room, maybe get a little rest, maybe take the helmet off, maybe take the skates off. Maybe get a little wash here because we don't know exactly how long we're going to be. But the action, 12:36 to go in the first period. Just trying to get things going here. There was a little bit of a rhythm to the game and then kind of just stopped. But it seems as if that both these teams, the start hasn't been exactly what we've expected out of this Ohio Bobcats team.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think this stoppage favors Ohio more than it does Iowa State because they were playing Iowa State hockey. Both teams were. They were playing slow, methodical, defensive hockey. I mean, we're sitting here at 12:36 to go in the first. We're still at 2-0 in shots. If you're Ohio now, you've got this extended break. You can sit down and be like, okay, we've seen what Iowa State's going to do now. We've seen them before as well, but now we know how they're going to play us right this game. Now we adjust. And so they'll make their adjustment, and the next time the glass pops out, then Iowa State will adjust back.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you mentioned teams. They were playing Iowa State hockey. Both teams were. And that's what Iowa State wanted. And so many times these teams play in these tournaments, and it's the team that can control the pace of the game, the team who can slow it down, get things to work in their favor, and then play their game. It's usually the team that comes out victorious.
Yeah, and I described the Stony Brook Iowa State game yesterday. I said it's like a Penguins-Bruins hockey game, where the Penguins just want it to be wide open and the Bruins want to slow it down. And this is the same situation here. And Ohio being the equivalent of the Penguins and Iowa State being the equivalent of the Bruins. Ohio wants this game to be wide open, just break out back and forth. They want to be zipping up and down the ice. They want it to look like a tennis match. Your neck be sore by the end of the game. Iowa State, they just want to slow things down and really work those counterattacks. And right now, that's what's been happening.
5 goals in game one for the Bobcats. They like to score. They like to get out fast.
Yeah, and the Bobcats, they are a high-scoring team. And you see that, they scored 5 goals. But if you look back at the games that they play against Iowa State, they don't score a lot of goals, but neither does Iowa State. It's always low scoring, and I don't expect anything different in this one.
Hearing some reports now that the weld was broken due to the hit being so, vicious, hard up against the wall. The weld was actually broken. So that's what they're dealing with down on the ice. And that's why the stoppage in play has taken so long.
Yeah, and If it's a weld that's broken, I don't see this getting fixed in the extreme near future. We might be sitting here talking for a while, Justin.
Interesting, and I like to talk, but I also like hockey. Definitely not what we expected, but that usually happens. It's definitely what you don't expect most times that occurs.
Yeah, they're slowly but surely. You can see that board that's out of the stanchion. You can see it right there as it was pulled on a little bit, how it completely moved free from the wall. And obviously you can't play with that. So they'll continue to work at it, and both these teams just kind of sitting around right now. Last game, when we had the board popped out like this with the Liberty-Arizona game, there were about 3 minutes left in the first period, and they went ahead and just went to intermission. There's too much time left in the first for them to do that here, so we'll sit and wait.
And so much great action is on tap today. This really isn't the only game we have going on. At 1:30, our next game, Minot State, the Beavers, will take on Adrian College, followed by Davenport, University of Michigan, Dearborn at 5 o'clock. And then the nightcap, 8:30, Liberty takes on Lindenwood. And you can catch all the highlights of all the action today on ACHA Tonight. Recap show, which will air tonight. Quinn, you're pretty familiar with that show.
Yeah, I actually just got to host it last night. It's a very fun show, good show. If you enjoy watching your Sports Center or anything like that, it's just like that. It's just giving you your highlights of your ACHA games. Whole lot of fun. If maybe you were watching this game and you weren't able to catch the D2 matchup that you were hoping to, that'll be covered on there. You'll be able to get your highlights from that. And with the other games we have today, like the winner of this one will play the winner of Adrian and Minot. Adrian and Minot, those are two storied ACHA franchises.
Yes.
They're almost always 1 seed, 2 seed, something like that. In this case, they're a 6 and a 3 seed, which is low for both of those teams. Adrian being the defending champions still. So I'm expecting a lot of big things out of them. But they struggled against Mississippi State. 0-0 up until the third period when Adrian finally broke the ice and wound up winning that game 1-0. And you have Minot, who's a 6 seed, but looked really, really good yesterday. And I'll be surprised if they go out early in this tournament like they have before. I could definitely see them going on and beating Adrian and possibly making a run at the title.
And I think it's also a great time to mention that, the stoppage and play happens, but also want to give a special shout-out, a thank you to the Dallas Stars organization for renting out this space for us. So gracious in their efforts. We're so thankful the ACHA is. And just such a great arena here, the Comerica Center. All the hospitality has been beautiful. The fans love it. The fans are ready to go for all these games. It's just such a great arena to watch a game. And I can't imagine a better slate of ice for these players to be playing on for this tournament. So we just want to give a special shout out and a thank you to the Dallas Stars organization.
Yeah, this is a really awesome venue, and a huge shout out to the crew as well. This is also the Texas Legends basketball arena, and the amount of time that they can go from hardwood to ice is very impressive.
Yeah, it's really incredible. You see the video or the pictures we saw a couple days ago, changing from the basketball to the ice for this tournament, and such a quick turnaround. They do an amazing job. And that just so grueling.
Yeah, and then we'll go back into talking about some of these other hockey games we have upcoming. We got Davenport against Michigan Dearborn, and that Davenport looked unbelievable against Central Oklahoma.
Offenses.
Yes, and those are going to be two high-powered offenses. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 15, 16 goals scored in that game.
Wow,
I really wouldn't.
That many goals?
Yeah, and if anyone was watching ACHA tonight, that was my hot take. I said Davenport is going to win that game against Michigan Dearborn, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, and you talked about the Adrian Missouri State game and how Adrian hadn't scored under 3 goals all season, and they get held to just one goal. Missouri State really did a great job. People didn't expect that game to be that close. I was lucky enough to be on the call for that. But you talk about the offense, and then Adrian came out and only scored one. Missouri State played great defense, but you're predicting that many goals.
Well, that was that many goal prediction was the Davenport Dearborn game.
Right.
But for the Minot Adrian game, so right now, if you're Adrian and you just put up one goal against Missouri State, you can't do that against Minot.
No.
If you put up one goal against Minot, you're going to lose by 4 goals. So that's not an option. They don't have Rosbach this year. Rosbach was the netminder that carried them to a championship. And when you have a goalie that lets up one goal an entire tournament, it's going to be hard to lose. But if you're Adrian, you still got a great goalie. Don't get me wrong, but he's, it's not to the same caliber as what you had last year. And if you're Minot, you're getting sick of all this talk of, they're not ready for the big stage. They keep getting these great regular season records, but whenever the lights come on, they aren't able to perform. If you're Minot, maybe this is your year. They looked really good in the game that they won, and maybe this is finally their time.
They did look good. They score 5 goals. And the first and second periods of that Minot game yesterday, they played Illinois. It was a very good performance. It was, you could even say close to dominant. They really controlled the pace of the game. Illinois ended up scoring a couple times in the third period to make it close. So hats off to them kind of coming back a little bit. But like you said, you can't only give up, or you can't only score one goal and expect to beat Minot State.
Yeah, you're really, if you can score one goal and win a game in this tournament, you got lucky. So Adrian's gotten lucky as they're taking a sledgehammer to the boards to try and knock this glass back into place. But, Adrian, you got your lucky one now. That's one of the biggest things to win. To win in a tournament like this, you need some luck to go your way. And there was their luck. They got a 1-0 win. You've had your luck now. Now you need to just use pure skill and get the rest of the way.
Yeah, and the semifinals, these are obviously the quarters. The semifinals will take place tomorrow, and then the final at night on Tuesday. All the action will be here for you on the ACHA network. Make sure to tune in to all the action. We got all the games, whether it's D1, D2, D3, men's, women's. Just such a great crew, a great event, a great tournament, and we're bringing it all to you on our ACHA network.
I think we're just about ready to get play back underway. They're going to ratchet these boards into place, and hopefully we're just about ready to go here as players are starting to skate around, kind of get warm again. They'll probably have a bit of a warm-up period right after as well.
Yeah, talk about that. Talk about having started the game. You get 7.5 minutes in. You did your warm-up before the game. You play a little while, and then you have to rest for, I think it's been, a couple minutes now. It's been, 15 minutes. Talk about that as a player, what's going through your head and how you have to get ready to get back on the ice after such a long stoppage.
Yeah, as a player, you have that, when the game first starts, you have that kind of probing period, that feeling out period. And even with two teams that know each other so well like these two, in a tournament like this, that period still exists. And you kind of saw both these teams start to settle into this game. The physical play was starting to ramp up, and the adrenaline starts flowing. You get that adrenaline going. You could take a puck right into the shoulder. You're not going to feel it. You feel adrenaline. And these players are going and going and going. And a lot of these Iowa State players have been blocking shots. And so we have a replay there of a slow motion sledgehammer hit into the board. That's a great shot right there. But you have these players who have been blocking shots and probably are going to have bruises after this game that they weren't feeling them. And now you have this long break, that adrenaline subsides, and you're feeling that pain now, and you got to get back out there and get going again. And maybe, lay out a couple good solid hits, maybe get a few shots on goal, get that adrenaline going, get back into the feel of this game. So we're probably going to have a couple minutes of really slower hockey before these players start feeling it again.
When play does resume, there's 12:36 left in the first period. Iowa State, 2 shots on goal compared to Ohio's 0. So the shot's 2-0. No penalties yet in this one. So we shall see. Definitely going to be more action coming up, but make sure at the end of the first period you tune in to the intermission report.
Yeah, we should have a pretty good game here when things get going back underway. Something to notice on. I haven't noticed too much of a difference from his play, but Azevedo, he at the end of last game against Stony Brook, instead of joining the line and joining in the handshakes, he immediately ran for the tunnel, and he got some assistance from a trainer the second he stepped off the ice, and that's usually a very scary sign if you're Iowa State. I mean, that's one of your top scorers. Azevedo, coming into this game in the regular season, had 9 goals, 21 assists, good for 30 points, 31 games played, is averaging almost a point a game. And yesterday he did have a goal in their win over Stony Brook, so definitely he's a key component to this team. And it would be a shame if he was to go out. He's been playing in this one already and seems to be at 100%, just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we've called his name a couple times, the senior from Spokane, Washington. And he was a factor in yesterday's game. You said he had a point, but he was flying around, skating around. He's such a big component to this Cyclones team. So anytime, you have a little bit of an injury, anything, especially in hockey, could be detrimental. But it's good to see him skating out there right now, today, as Ohio and Iowa State have come to play in the first 7.5 minutes.
Justin.
Yeah, and in a tournament like this,
we're not even halfway through the first period.
In a tournament like this, players are gonna play through the pain, anything like that. As I believe we're gonna go to the intermission report here, Justin.
Yeah, intermission is the call. We're gonna send it over to our guys at the desk to give us a little bit of an update, guys.
All right, thanks, Justin. Well, I can't speak for you, but I don't think I can tell you a time that there's been this much broken glass since my best friend's bar mitzvah 5 years ago. Less than 8 minutes into first period of action against Iowa State and Ohio. There's no score, and there's more problems with the glass, as I just alluded to, but no problems right here. Casey Roll with you alongside Sam Fleming. SF, there have been a lot of numbers thrown out this entire tournament, but 4 delays in the last 3 games. What are your analyses on how this has gone these last 2 games in general?
It's crazy to see that it's been on the same side of the ice, just right below us here, that the glass has popped out. The board brackets have been broken, and it's taken a while for them to fix it. I think we've averaged the average delay to be about half an hour. And not only does that mess with the flow of the game, but it messes with the flow of these players. This is a long delay for both Ohio and Iowa State. And not to think that we're not even halfway through this first period of action. Between these two teams, a very closely ranked matchup, number 5 and number 4. And this is going to take some time to get back into the flow of the game. It's almost going to be like a fresh start for these two teams when they start.
Yeah, yesterday it was after the second period of one of our earlier games between Davenport and UCO. There was a change. Yesterday, in between the final game, when the Arizona Wildcats took on the Arizona played in the final game, there were 2 changes in the first period, one 15 seconds in. The second one was just about with 3 minutes left to go, and now we have this one right now, Sam. And we saw yesterday with Arizona, you could tell that the changing of the glass really changed the momentum. One shot over the next 23 minutes, and there were a lot of dead legs out on the ice. How does that avoid here?
Well, if you're both these teams, you're going to try to keep skating around, keep your legs moving, and stay loose. Don't try to sit around. Keep your legs fresh. Keep going. Maybe try to work on a few stick handles that the ACHA will let them have a puck or 2 out there. But don't get caught up in being in a long delay. We saw Liberty take advantage of that as they were prepared to go. They scored 7 unanswered goals and ultimately went on to win the game over Arizona 7-2 and move on with a date with Lindenwood this evening at 8:30. But I think for these two teams, they've just got to keep their legs fresh, not let this delay get in their head, and try to think more ahead, because this is a tough battle to move on to the semifinals of the ACHA Men's Division I National Tournament.
You mentioned the semifinals, a slate of games today. The next game between the defending national champion Adrian College and the Minot State Beavers, who upended the challenger last season in the University of Illinois. So there will be a new challenger this season to Adrian College. But Sam, quickly going to what we have right now in our game, less than 8 minutes in. Shots on goal, just 2-0 in favor of the Cyclones. But not too many quality scoring chances, albeit the low shots.
Yeah, very low shooting, not a lot of chances for either team to go hard to the net, but we have seen the physicality pick up. Hits one, the glass has popped out, a lot of bodies thrown around, but I expect this game, once it gets back going, to be more like it was advertised, a very offensively tested game and a good challenge for these two teams. Of course, these are two teams that a lot of people think could be national tournament favorites to go up against the teams like Adrian, Dearborn, and Lindenwood.
5 national championships combined between these two teams and 54 national championship appearances, 27 each, tied for the most in Division I history. But going personnel-wise, this is Kevin Hogan's last season with Ohio, and you only have to think, if this is his final game, this might be one of the more unique situations on how he might lose.
Yeah, and last year, remember, this is where Ohio was knocked out last season against Illinois, the challengers to Adrian, as we've talked about. But for Kevin Hogan, this is one of his better shots to win a national tournament, to end his career on here. Again, Ohio, the 4-time national champions, the most of any team that is at this tournament, last coming in 2004. Iowa State, the very first ACHA Men's Division I national champion. So a lot of history here. But for Ohio, they want to go out and get Kevin Hogan a national championship in his last season. And they have a really strong team to do it. Of the top 4 teams being number 4, I think they're overlooked a little bit considering how good Lindenwood, Dearborn, and Adrian have been. But Ohio can be sneaky and definitely a favorite if they make it to the semifinals tomorrow.
And Sam, something that I want to hit on is that the lower seeds have actually played really well this tournament.
Something different from last year. When you look at the first couple games, it was very high scoring in favor of those seeds that were the higher ranked and the favorites, but we haven't really had too many blowouts until yesterday. We had some lopsided affairs in that day 3 of action, but I think today you're going to see a lot of close contests. We might even get some overtime battles as well, which could lead for a great setup to the semifinals tomorrow, whichever 4 teams do make the Division I semifinals. But I will say there are 8 great teams left to go, and you could see an upset today with how good the skill level is of these teams.
What is the most likely upset, in your opinion, entering today?
Ooh, that's a very tough one to say, but I have to look at it as possibly this next game with Adrian and Minot State. I think Minot State could really give Adrian a run for their money, even though Adrian was my pick to maybe win the national tournament, go back-to-back, the first team since Lindenwood in 2009 and 2010 to do that. But I really do think that game could be closer than expected. Minot looked really good against Illinois, even though they had a little bit of a hiccup towards the end. Adrian, though, was a little slow out of the gate against Missouri State. 1-0 against the Ice Bears, a very close contest. Not a lot of people expecting a 1-goal game there. But I think Adrian may have had some time to regroup here. They had a day off. Maybe they'll go back to the form. But I even look at that nightcap game. Could Lindenwood have a real test with Liberty there? Liberty had an incredible game, winning 7-2 last night over a very tough Arizona team. I'm telling you, that could be a game to watch as another potential upset. But Lindenwood, not the most convincing win over Robert Morris, Illinois, but I'm going to say for me it's that Adrian Minot State game.
And just quickly going back to Liberty last night, 7-2 over Arizona, 7 different goal scorers, but quickly reversing the gauges now to Adrian College. They scored their lone goal with less than 5 minutes to go in the game against a Missouri State team that not too many people saw getting past the first round. What did you see in the Bulldogs in their opening matchup?
Well, they didn't play bad. They had a lot of good opportunities. They moved the puck like Adrian is known to be for. They really did a good job controlling the neutral zone, setting up, but they didn't get too many quality chances until Justin Fisher's goal, their captain, got the only goal in that game. But for Adrian, I think they just really need to go back to what they know best, and that's playing the game as simple as they can, because when they start out simplistic, they end up coming out and dominating. We saw Adrian dominate the national tournament. None of their games were close, not even the national championship, which they won by a score of 8-1 over Illinois. But for Adrian, I think maybe the extra day helps them. But for Minot, you wonder if having the day, having back-to-back games actually helps them with the momentum side, because they played really well yesterday. Only 5-3 win. That was the closest game of the day. But I like Minot and how they moved the puck, how quick they were off the gates, and I think they could have a good start in this next game.
And Sam, I want to talk about a trend, an occurring trend right now. And buried in net for Adrian College is one of the best in the country, if not the best. Some of the top goaltenders in this tournament haven't lasted a full 60 minutes.
Yeah, and that's going to be an interesting thing to see today. Can Barrett last a full 60 minutes if that's who Adrian goes with and Gary Astalos? But that has been something we were shocked about. Phil Babb got chased the other day, Chiro yesterday for Arizona. So there's been a lot of high-scoring games on the top goalies in ACHA Men's Division I. Could this be the game where we have the goaltending battle we are looking for of the top teams? I think behind us, too, with Gedke and Thomas, two great goalies for both Iowa State and Ohio, maybe this will be a close game here between the goalies that could keep their teams in it. I'm waiting to see that first real goaltending battle of these round of eights and possibly into the semifinals.
Gedke had a great game yesterday against Stony Brook, but if there is a game today or tomorrow that you feel like is going to be a goaltending duel and a goaltending battle, what would that be?
I think the one that could be a goaltending battle is the Lindenwood Liberty game tonight. Depending on who Lindenwood or Liberty goes with between Burak and Hallpenny, we know that CDOT will most likely be in net 25-0 for Lindenwood this season. I think that could be a real goaltending battle. Cole Burak, one of the best in the nation for Liberty. Josh Hallpenny, a stellar backup goalie, even if you can call him that. But I think that's going to be your goaltending matchup and goaltending battle that we're looking for this evening.
Cole Burak, he didn't start yesterday for Liberty, so it's always nice to have your backup in Hallpenny win a game, especially with the way he won it. But while we have you here, let me tell you about ACHA tonight. If you want to catch up on all things hockey, or in this case, boards being repaired or glasses being fixed, one of the two, I'm not sure if you're big into carpentry or seeing how boards can be replaced, you can catch it right here on the achahockey.org website and ACHA Tonight. We're getting a schedule here from our producers behind the set. Be sure to also catch our Division II bracket, Marion and Utah State. Yesterday, a 1-0 win for Marion over Utah State. And really interesting with how that one went. That's actually today. That's what's actually today. My mistake. It's been a long day, last couple days. And Keene State's also taking on Cincinnati in the Division II bracket. Division III also starting up. Women's Division I and Division II will close out the ACHA tournament. So, Sam, a lot of hockey to be played, but with 8 more days left, you can only imagine how it is going to go, knowing that we might not even be able to play with the glass.
It's going to be very interesting to see. Of course, a lot more games left to be played on this ice right behind us as they have the lift out to try to fix the boards up. They're adding some suspension, but this could be an interesting factor that plays into these remaining games, especially the semifinals and the championship. Could you imagine if the glass broke in one of those games, how much that could change the momentum of the most important days for the ACHA Division I National Tournament?
I mean, you don't want to impede players playing and checking along the boards, but at what point, if any, do you think the officials are going to talk to the coaching staff and the benches saying, okay, we cannot have anybody check hard into this corner or this area? When do you think that possibility might happen if it does?
I don't think there is a possibility of that, if you ask me, honestly. Maybe there will be a little warning about those areas, but you can't really slow down the intensity of the tournament. These guys are fighting hard. They want to win an ACHA Division I National Championship. They're going to throw the body around. It's going to happen. These boards do not have a lot of give. They do shake a lot, but actually they have more give, excuse me, but they shake a lot and that happens. But I think that the physicality is just going to pick up from here. So they're going to have to try to fix this as best as possible. And that's just part of the deal when you're coming to this ring, knowing that the boards maybe aren't the best and the glass is a little bit fragile, to say the least.
I'll tell you what, we're doing our best to keep you entertained. I feel like our off staff is being entertained right now. Our off-camera staff is being entertained right now by this music choice. I must say, Sam, I'm digging it right now. We were jamming earlier today in the pregame. We were jamming during the opening stages of this break. I mean, nice way to keep the crowd entertained, for which amount of the crowd has stayed put.
Absolutely. Andy Storr's doing a fantastic job down there trying to keep the playlist going, maybe adding a couple songs along the way. But it's great to see the crowds that do come out here from all the teams, whether it be Ohio and Iowa State. There seems to be a fairly good following for all the Division I teams here, and it's been great to see the atmosphere of the players, hearing them talk behind us during the game, all the emotion, all the energy. It's been a great first couple days here from the Comerica Center. I think we're just in store for another great game day today with 3 more games on the slate, 3 great games, and then of course everybody looking forward to the semifinals and the championship.
Speaking of Andy Swords, I'm going to have to send him a playlist and a request list of my own, so that way for nationals and semifinals we might be bumping to what you say would be the KC Roll playlist. But anyways, you talk more about the semifinals and the nationals. The national championship will be on Tuesday. For more information on how the national championship is formed and an up-to-date bracket, visit achahockey.org. And to catch every single game of this ACHA Division I tournament, follow it right here on our ACHA Hockey YouTube page. But Sam, just quickly going back, I know it's been a while since it seems like we've talked about this game, the actual game, not the ice, not the boards, but the actual game. What does Iowa State, I'm going to start with the Cyclones. What do the Cyclones have to do once play resumes to get on the board first?
Well, when you watch them play against Stony Brook, they came out flying. They got their players moving. They were throwing the body right away. That was the first game I really saw that one team came out and threw the body straight off the get-go. And I think for Iowa State, they've got to keep throwing it around. Look for a guy like Tony Uglum to possibly contribute to the goal scoring. He's one of their best players as well, along with Jackson Growlum, who had 2 goals in that first game against the Seawolves. I think Growlum and Uglum could be your difference makers. They just got to move the puck, control it well. And I think for Iowa State, that could be the way they get on the board first.
And now flip side for the Bobcats. What does Kevin Hogan's squad have to do to score first?
They've got to get their players involved like Evangelisti and Harkins, 2 of their top scorers. I think if they get them moving and get them flying off the bat, they could be the difference makers and get that goal first.
Well, less than 8 minutes in, we have our first delay. And with that, we send it to break. When we return, hopefully second period of action, first period of action, second half of the first period of action. You're watching the 2019 ACHA Division I National Championships on the ACHA Network.
Well, Casey, Sam, guys at the intermission desk, thank you so much. Justin DeVellis along with Quinn Kuski as we get set to go again. We're ready to face it off again. 12:36 to go in the first period. Had a little stoppage in play. Had to fix up the boards a little bit. Do a little repair job to make the ice safe for play for Ohio, the number 4 seed, and Iowa State, the number 5 seed. Still scoreless here in the first period. Quinn, the shots 2-0 favoring the Cyclones. Not too much offense. Tough to get into a rhythm so far today.
Well, and now you have play stop for like half an hour, and that doesn't help you get into a rhythm either. You know, we were already struggling to find, that rhythm in this game, like you said. Then you have that long stoppage in play, and that just hurts it even more. So it'll be real interesting to see if either of these teams even can settle into this game in this first period now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Definitely a storyline to look out for the rest of the way in the first period and how it affects the game going forward in the second and third periods. So Iowa State, Ohio is usually the one, that high-powered, high-octane offense that likes to get out there and run and put the puck on the net. And then Iowa State likes to slow things down a little bit, play their own game on offense. You said in the pregame a difference in styles, really, between these two teams. So it'll be interesting to see how each of them handle that long layoff.
Yeah, and like we said, Ohio, this was perfect for them. It gives them time to sit down and talk and figure out how they want to come back and attack this Cyclone defense. Because so far from what we've seen in this tournament, nothing works. So they've got to figure something out.
Well, they brought out some pucks to let the boys warm up a little bit, get some shots after the layoff, and now it looks like they're collecting the pucks to get play to resume again. 12:36 to go. Looks like it's going to be a face-off in Ohio's offensive zone.
Yeah, we're finally getting play back underway here, and we had just really started to see the physical play get ramped up, which would be why that board got broke, as we were finally starting to hit. And the question will be if play's going to pick up right where it left off, or if it's going to feel like a whole new game.
And we'll see how that board holds up the rest of the way. as we get set to face it off. It's going to be Lubin for the Bobcats and Azevedo, guy we talked about in the break, for the Cyclones. As we're set to drop it, send. Azevedo looks a little frustrated here. And they drop the puck. Ohio wins the draw. Excuse me. Swinging it around, looking to get it inside. Shot, save, another shot. The puck is in front of the net. Iowa State corrals it, goes back the other way. Two shots there for Ohio.
Yep, Ohio State, maybe that break is exactly what they needed. Like we said, they come right out and get a shot.
And Iowa tried to rush back the other way, get something going. Couldn't, but they have the puck here in their, trying to move it across the center line, but the Bobcats corral it. Almost lost the puck there. And Banser tries to keep it in, just sends it. Ohio has it here, out to the left wing. Moving it across, didn't have numbers there. Iowa State did a good job collapsing on the puck.
Yeah, Ohio was making a line change there, and they hung their poor forward out to dry. Four Cyclones just closed in around him, and he just got the puck away from him to spare himself.
Marcicilli presses it forward, but Ohio has it now. It's Turnau who flips it in, but Gedicke's there to send it away. Ohio trying to keep it in their offensive zone here, but Iowa State does a good job, pushes it back out. A nice poke here, maybe a chance for the Cyclones. They kind of get knotted up, and it was Hazel did a good job allowing his other teammate to get the puck, and it falls back into Hazel's grasp. Behind the net now. It's going to be Evangelisti who takes it. Stolen away. Stolen again by Ohio. Puck is flipped. Looks like it goes out of bounds into the Ohio bench, and we'll have a whistle.
Yeah, and you started to see that counterattack try to develop there from Iowa State, but really well played. I believe it was Evangelisti that played it so well. Closed off the Cyclone forward that was coming in trying to make that play on the puck, and pinched him off right into the corner. It was really well defended.
And we said we're going to be calling his name a lot as Adam Alcott wins the draw for the Cyclones. Shot on goal, save by Jimmy Thomas. Tried to knock it away. Ohio has it. Still being kept in this Cyclone offensive zone. They have it behind. It's Alcott getting pressed up against the board. A good check there. And Ohio's back the other way. Here comes Evangelisti leading the break. They push it past the blue line. Nice poke. And another shot, but blocked. Shot from far. Shot from far from the perimeter. It's back behind the net. The Cyclones will regain it. It's Grolum. Iowa State's going to get a change here, as Scott Bagby takes it for the Bobcats, the freshman from Illinois, Downers Grove.
And the freshman went ahead and iced the puck there, just a pass off the mark. Could have maybe been freshman error, but I mean, at this point in the season, your freshmen are pretty much sophomores. So, probably not the case there, just a bit of a miscommunication.
That's a very good point, and the face-off will take place in the Iowa State offensive zone. We have a little stoppage in play here. Zach Frank seems to be skating towards the bench, might be coming off here and coming on. I want to say that's Evangelisti.
Yeah, Ohio taking advantage of last change. They just waited a really long time to use it.
And it's Bagby. Stolen away. Dolan to the middle, knocked away. Tried to get it, a little bit of a turnover there for the Bobcats. Iowa State has it. Trying to get it out. Inside, shot, glove save.
Dolan, right after he received that puck, had Lee wide slam open in the slot and just didn't see him. Lee was smashing his stick down on the ice, trying to get Dolan's attention, but Dolan recognized it just a bit too late. Still wound up getting a really good chance, but probably missed out on what would have been a goal.
The shot's 3-3. Jimmy Thomas with that save. And with 9:59 to go in the first period, we are going to send it to break. Be right back with you, Justin Novellis, Quinn Kuski on the ACHA network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. And the City of Frisco.
And welcome back to the Comerica Center. Ohio wins the draw here in the first period, 9:50 to go. And we're still scoreless in this number 4, number 5 matchup between interconference rivals here on day 4 of the national tournament. Ohio has it, trying to get it out. They send it across the center line. Here comes Gabe Lamprin, trying to get something going for this Bobcat team. Shot on goal, missed. Nice opportunity for Zach Frank.
And this game's starting to open up a bit more. They're starting to play more Ohio-style hockey than Iowa State hockey.
And Frank still had it. He had a shot at it. Here's Picorni. Lost stick up along the boards. Iowa State doing a good job pressuring the puck up along the boards, especially when it gets close to their goal. Skating. Weaving through the net. A nice shot. Got so close to Jimmy Thomas. And it was a good effort. And back the other way is Iowa State. They keep it in. Send it in too. Thomas has to knock it away with his pads. And we're going behind the net now. Jacob Houston grabs it for Ohio. Knocked down. Iowa State trying to keep it in. Playing a little physical here. As Thomas sticks it. And they send it back. Patted down. Justin Paulson tries to keep it in for the Cyclones. And you see Banser and Lubin were getting a little tangled up there. And now it's across center ice from the Cyclones. Batted away. Stolen by Tyler Harkins. Here he comes, the man who had 5 points Friday against UNLV. They try to send it in front of the net, but nobody was there.
Yeah, that was a really good play there by Hansen. Coming back on the back check right after turning it over, was able to just kind of get a little stick lift in and prevent an opportunity.
Alcott tried to get it to Grolum, but nothing doing. And the puck is loose and back behind Ohio State's net. Excuse me, Iowa State. So it's Max Olson. Tries to get it in front. Tommy Hansen has it. Kept in by Grant Hazel. Ohio's got a shot here. Shot on goal. Blocked. And Gedicke does a great job of keeping it in his glove. He had to get away from the net there a little bit. Dangerous, but very good job by the netminder.
Yeah, and you saw Ohio on that shot. There was an Iowa State defender right in the shooting lane. He had to kind of adjust at the last second to avoid it getting blocked, and it definitely took some power off that shot. It came in really soft. Easy save for Gedicke, but he did struggle with the rebound a little bit.
Yeah, and you said that, the power on the shots. A lot of the shots have seemed a little weak as it's 5-4 in favor of the Cyclones, 7:32 to go in the first period. But like you said, just kind of some weak shots. Need to see more power on those if they want to put one in the net. Maybe some more power there, as it looked like Gross set to wind up, but his shot sailed a little too wide. Now it's up along the boards. Halbach. Big hit there by Uglum. And Iowa State regains control. Back the other way. Here come the Cyclones. Shot in front. Nice pass, but just missed the chance. The puck is loose in front of the net. I want to say it was Scott Bagby that knocked it away. Either way, still a scoreless game. Here comes Evangelisti, getting close, skating in, makes contact with the goalie. There's going to be a whistle here as he tried to skate in, make it a chance for the Bobcats, but he made too much contact.
Yeah, he bulldozed the goalie in the blue paint. That's an easy call. And right before that, you saw the exact kind of game that Iowa State's looking to play. You saw the huge hit from Uglum, just teed off on a man who didn't even know he was there, and that led to a turnover and a quick counterattack that almost led to a goal. They love those quick passes, the one-timers that just tap-ins on the back door. That's what Iowa State's looking for, to put pucks in the back of the net, and they're pretty good on the power play too.
And we have our first penalty of the game as you take a look at the instant replay. I'm going to take a look at that last chance for Iowa State. So close, just sailed wide. But now the Cyclones on the power play. Hopefully for them, they get more chances like that. Goaltender's interference is the call. And skating into the Cyclones, they get in front of the net again, but nobody there to clean it up.
Yeah, it might have been better off to try to pass to Grolum there than to try to take that shot.
Yeah, Grolum has it, sends it to the point. It's now back behind the net. Weaving it around is Trevor Sabo. Gets it up top. Iowa State trying to keep it in. Halbach knocked away. by Gabe Lamprin, I believe it was. Iowa State needs a change. Whether it's Lamprin or Lubin, Ohio needs to do a great job on this power play. 1 minute left on the power play, 5:48 to go in the first period as the shots are even at 6. Azevedo to Uglum, sends it across the blue line, and we're going to get an offsides.
Yeah, Kramer got bumped off sides there by one of the Ohio players. We talked earlier in the broadcast about how Iowa State doesn't like to play from behind, and this would be a huge opportunity for them if they can get one. They still got a minute left on this power play. That's plenty of time. They could get one and go up 1-0 early.
And I was just about to say, such a big opportunity for the Cyclones here. Maybe a chance to steal a goal with Evangelisti in the box. But maybe a shorthanded chance for Ohio here is pinned up against the glass. Puck is frozen. Colton Kramer comes in for the Cyclones trying to knock it loose, and it's going to be Azevedo who corrals it. He sends it across the center line out to Uglum. Tries to skate in, left to right. Pass in front of the goal, missed. A great opportunity again for the Cyclones, almost reminiscent of their last chance. A great pass as Uglum skated in, but they couldn't get it done. And they keep it in. Maybe another chance. Uglum looking for Olsen. Now he's looking behind the net, trying to get it in front. They do, but Ohio knocks it away. And a very good job on this power play. Just 6 seconds left. As Iowa State gets a change, last chance. A nice penalty kill from the Bobcats.
Yeah, good kill from the Bobcats, and that's, I believe, now the 4th power play that Iowa State's had in this tournament. They've yet to score on one. They've actually been better when taking penalties. They have a shorthanded goal from Grolum last game.
And now the puck is here. Jackson Grolum has it. Swings it out. Paulson. It's back to Grolum. Trying to get a shot on goal, but glove save by Jimmy Thomas. Wasn't that difficult there for Thomas. He had it all the way.
No, it's not. And usually you wouldn't see a player think to take that shot. But in this case, you're feeding the hot hand. It's like in basketball when you have the heat check. That was Grolum's heat check. He's like, let me just see if I can snipe one here while facing the wrong way and just turn around and rip it. And in that case, right into the glove hand, but never hurts to give it a go.
And then you still get the face-off and the draw if you can win it in your offensive zone, but Ohio wins it. And Lubin takes it across. He gets it to Lamprin, trying to skate shot on goal, but it's patted down and saved by Gedeke.
Yeah, that's a shot that has a lot of power on it, but Iowa State keeping them to the outside. If you're Gedeke, you'll stop that all day. You'll let them take shots from, they're taking shots from outside the face-off dots in the offensive zone. Those sharp angle shots are not going to beat a netminder like Gedeke.
So we said it was going to be possibly one of the better games of the day. All the games look to be great, but this one could be one of the better ones. 0-0, 4:10 to go in the first period. As it looked like Iowa State won the draw, but it's whistled. And we'll do it again.
Yeah, a bit of a false start there on Iowa State. They'll change out, have a backup. One of the wingers now in on the draw, so definitely an advantage for Ohio.
It would favor Ohio to keep it in this zone. Seems as if they haven't had too many chances. Iowa State kind of controlling the pace here.
Yeah, right off of that break, we played a little bit of Ohio hockey. You saw Ohio's, the pace of that game speed up, but as play has continued here, we're back to, slowed down, very defensive hockey.
And it's Picorni battling for it, but Paulson ends up taking it for the Cyclones, and we got a rush here, 2-on-2. But it's knocked away. Sent in off Jimmy Thomas's pads, and he keeps it in for Sean Bayard. And it's going to be an icing here.
Yeah, that little dump in on Thomas off of Thomas's pads, that counts as a shot on goal on the stat sheet. But that's why stats can be so deceiving. Like you had Gedeke who faced 24 shots last game, and if you want to look at like actual scoring chances, there were probably 3 or 4 decent scoring chances for Stony Brook last game.
Yeah, and a shutout for him against Stony Brook. The Seawolves just couldn't get anything going against the Cyclones, and that's why Iowa State's battling here. Baird up front trying to get it to Rudin. Glove down by Marcicilli. Takes a little bit of a hit, but the boards seem to be holding up. There's 3:07 to go in the first period.
Yeah, the pressure from Ohio's forecheck there forced Marcilli to pass a puck when he didn't want to, wound up leading to icing. So offensive zone draw for Ohio and tired legs for Iowa State.
9-7 the shots. It's going to be Lubin. Wins the draw, gets it to Houston's by the ACHA logo. Very close. They tried to get Rudin in front of the goal, maybe mess Gedeke up a little bit, get a deflection, but the shot wasn't powerful enough, didn't work.
Yeah, if they were watching the Stony Brook Iowa State game, Gedeke had some rebounds pop off his pads. They weren't like springing way out on him, but they would just sit there for a couple seconds. He'd pop the glove down on him. So if you can get a guy sitting right in front of him, one of those pop out, they'll stash one home off the rebound.
So another face-off. It'll be Lubin again, trying to win it for the Bobcats. He does in front of the net. Lubin gets a shot off, but it's just sails too high. It'll be out of bounds. Looked to be as if he was tripped on that shot attempt.
It was a hook. We got a hooking penalty upcoming.
And there you go, hooking penalty. The second penalty of the game, first one for the Cyclones. And the Bobcats will have a power play here with 2:55 to go in the first period.
Yep, Azevedo going to the box. And now if you're the Cyclones, you've got to kill this off. You don't want to play from behind. But if you're the Bobcats, the Cyclones scored shorthanded last game, so you got to be careful of that as well.
Houston to Gross, working it around now, trying to get it closer. Evangelisti works it around. Houston by the ACHA logo. Behind the net now, tries to feed it inside. And he was looking for Gross again, but it was deflected. Houston looking for Harkins. The guy coming off a hat trick. Remember, maybe feed it to him. Iowa State doing a good job collapsing. Shot just wide for the Bobcats. Good opportunity there.
Yeah, that got deflected down in front. Gedeke never saw it change direction, and if that had been on frame, that was a goal.
It's got Rudin, Houston, and Harkins. Fake shot there from Gross. Shot. Hit a stick. It stays with Ohio. They're going to battle for it up against the boards here. Ohio keeping it in, trying to get closer. Feeds it. Shot from Gross. Misses. Good save. And they get it back up to the point. Evangelisti back to Gross. Inside. Harkins has it close. Nice pass in front of the net. Rudin tried it. And it was a great opportunity. It looked like there was a wide open portion of the net there for Rudin.
Yeah, just absolute desperation from Gedeke, lunging across the net mouth, managing to get a pad on that puck as the shot was fired. Definitely far and away the best scoring opportunity so far in this game, coming at 1:39 remaining in the first period. And then the rebound sprung out on Gedeke, and it just sat there, and he was in the splits. There was no way he could have gotten on it. His defenseman shoved it into his pads, and the puck was still loose from what I could see, but the refs had lost sight of it and went ahead and blew the whistle.
Plenty of shots for the Bobcats. You get the feeling that maybe they may be knocking on the door here. Jenkins swings it inside. Getting close is Pokorny, but Iowa State gets a stick on it, tries to check it out. Hazel up top, up at the point, trying to skate around, looking for a shot. Gets it inside. It goes behind the net. And Jenkins has it again. The man who started with it has it again. Hazel out on the wing, tried to block it, shot got deflected. Jared Erickson looked like he tried to block it with the body, and then when he couldn't, he tried to get a stick on it and did.
Yeah, that was an incredible effort from Erickson. Comes in sliding, fell for the fake shot from Hazel, and then was able to just spin a quick 180 and lunge his stick right into that shot as it got released. Hazel thought he was going to get one on frame for sure, and just a fantastic play from Erickson.
1:07 left in the first period, 12 seconds left in this power play for Ohio. Up by the blue line, they've had their chances, but Iowa State doing a good job. No goal went in yet. And Azevedo's ready to skate back on. He does as the doors open. Shot inside. Looked like a piece of the net open there for Ohio. Harkins. Inside, it's behind the net. Iowa State just trying to clear it, trying to get it out now that they're at even. Thrown in front of the net. Here comes Iowa State. It's Uglum, the leading man, leading the charge. He gets it behind, shot wide, just high of the goal. And Azevedo, the man who just came out, gets his stick on it, but Ohio corrals it. They flick it ahead. Iowa State, it's Paulson. trying to move it in front of that blue line. Kramer giving pressure, but Gross pushes it across for Ohio. They just feed it in, and they're going to get a change. Harkins does a good job. And again, this net getting open. They try to feed it inside. It's Hazel. Shot from the point, but deflected and knocked back. Great defense there from Jared Erickson.
No surprise there that Erickson has another shot block. He blocked 4 or 5 shots in that period. And, you know, he's going to be hurting tomorrow, but for this game, he's feeling pretty good right now. And now your bigger concern might be if Iowa State's to win this game, how's Erickson going to be feeling tomorrow when they got to go and play another game?
Yeah, so 2 big power plays, 1 for each team. They had their opportunities. You thought Ohio might get a goal in those closing minutes. Iowa State does a great job not allowing that. The shot's 13-9 in favor of Ohio. It's still a scoreless ball game.
Yeah, Ohio definitely had the better opportunities there at the tail end of that period. Some of the best chances came when Ohio was on the power play, and that's, you know, that comes back to what we were preaching at the top of the broadcast. Stay out of the box. You cannot go shorthanded against Ohio, and they showed why there. You know, that was their very first power play of the game. You give them another one after they kind of started to figure out what works against Iowa, they'll get one.
Game just getting started here, game 1 of day 4. We're going to be back. We're going to send it to commercial, be back with your second period action on the ACHA network.
The preferred car rental agency of the ACHA. Discounts and special benefits are available for all ACHA membership and fans. As detailed.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi.
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
By Warrior Sports, the preferred hockey stick supplier of the ACHA this season. Many of our member teams use Warrior sticks, recognizing the quality and durability they're known for. The ACHA thanks
Iowa State Cyclones, no score through the first period. Glad you could join us. Casey Roll with you alongside Sam Fleming. SF, what are some of the takeaways that you've had so far in the first 20 minutes? I know I have some. Why is this happening right now? M, many people are bored of these delays. C, college athletes shouldn't wait this long. And A, athletes can also dance. YMCA, some of the other highlights we've seen today outside of the hockey we've had through the first 20.
Well, after the delay, we saw a little bit more of what we were expecting. A lot of energy and a lot of intensity. We thought the delay maybe would kill the vibe a little bit, but the YMCA from backup goaltender Everett Yanitsky, it's been a good game, though. It seemed to have favored Ohio since they've come out of the break a little bit. They've had the majority of the advantages in the stats that maybe aren't prevalent to the scoreboard. But I think this game has lived up to as advertised. Nothing after one. A very good game so far. 2 good goaltenders, and Gedke and Thomas again showing that potential goaltending matchup we were looking for. This would have been my second choice for the game behind the Lindenwood Liberty game we talked about in the delay report we did. But I think this game has definitely gone as advertised so far.
You mentioned the play after the glass was fixed. Face-offs in favor of Ohio, 9-2 since the last time that the game was called due to glass being repaired. Sam, what's the change in the intensity been since that break? We talked about the first break we were on air. How has it been so far the last 13 minutes?
Well, I think the intensity and not only that, the comfortability with these two teams has settled in. We've seen both Ohio and Iowa State be able to set up plays now. Iowa State's power play maybe wasn't the best, but when you watch that Ohio power play that we still have some time remaining, they've had some good quality chances on that man advantage. Just Iowa State's done a good job killing it off. But I think Ohio's really becoming Ohio, as the short term to say the least. But they have really set it up well. But there is a little concern. Gianni Evangelisti, a little shaken up, one of their top scorers, heading back to the bench at the end of the period. We noticed he was doing some extra skating and warm-ups. That'll be a storyline to see if anything's wrong with Evangelisti.
There was a tweet earlier today about Evangelisti possibly dealing with a lower body injury. Sam, how big of a loss would this be for Kevin Hogan's team if he was unable to continue?
Well, when you look at Evangelisti, he's one of the top scorers in the league, and possibly for Ohio. You look at him, he's got 15 goals and 20 assists this year. So for them, that's one of your top players gone, but also a leader of this team gone. He had a very big national tournament in Columbus last season, including scoring in that quarterfinal game against Illinois, the thriller in overtime, the 4-3 win. But I think that would be one of the toughest losses Ohio could take, along with some of their other top scorers, if it were to happen.
Evangelisti, one of the top power play units as well. Only one man advantage for each team so far. How have the special teams been a factor in this game?
They have not really been as much of a factor as we would have expected. Of course, Iowa State didn't get any shots on that power play, it seemed like. They couldn't set up anything in the zone. And you look at the advantage of the shots, 7 after the break for Iowa State. Before the break for Ohio, they had no shots. Now they have shots on goal. I think the special teams favors Ohio going into this second period if they are to get more man advantages, Casey. But I think for Iowa State, they're going to have a really strong penalty kill to hold off this Bobcat power play.
Well, something that's been an occurring trend after delays and after ice breaks and ice sheets, most goalies get peppered on by scorers and get hammered with multiple goals. This case, not that way. No goals scored by both teams combined and just under 30 combined shots.
Yeah, Matt Gedke and Jimmy Thomas have not been affected by the break at all for their respective teams. They played stellar in net, stopping all the shots that they have faced. I expect that to continue. Thomas, a well-established goalie who had a phenomenal national tournament. 2 great games against UNLV and Ohio last year. UNLV against Ohio, and then Ohio versus Illinois. He played phenomenal in those OT games. Matt Gedke has been solid all season for the Cyclones. I expect these two to keep going strong, and maybe this does end up being that goaltending matchup like I was saying, but those two have kept their teams in this off of mistakes, and I do like what I'm seeing from both goalies.
What's been the most surprising aspect to you in the first 20?
I think the most surprising aspect for me is how Ohio had the slow start, but neither team before that delay really had a fast start. It seemed a bit sloppy. No one could control the game. There was only 2 shots in total, both for the Cyclones. But after that, after the break, it's been all Ohio, in my opinion, with a couple rushes from Iowa State. But I think for Iowa State, if they get back to how they played against Stony Brook, they could have a shot to take control of this hockey game if they get going.
Well, through 20 minutes, no score between Ohio and Iowa State. If you catch the first 20, be sure to catch up on all action and recaps on ACHA tonight on achahockey.org, following all action of our games today, Division I, Division II, and Division III. So if you miss anything, be sure to catch it on ACHA tonight, achahockey.org. Through 20 minutes, no score between the Cyclones and the Bobcats. We'll send it to break. When we return, Justin DeVallis and Quinn Kuski have the call for the second period between Ohio and Iowa State. You're watching the first period intermission report on the ACHA Network.
You deserve an extraordinary university experience, and that is Ohio University. We're a national leader in Fulbright award-winning students with professors dedicated to your future success. We've won 38 Pulitzer Prizes, a Nobel Prize in Chemistry, and were awarded 9 new patents in 2017 alone. We're the most exciting band in the land and home to the most beautiful campus on earth. Choose the extraordinary experience. Choose Ohio University.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Iowa State was the place where Derek began his adventure.
Derek was one of the first students in the industrial design program.
Our apartment together was a design studio. A light bulb went off one day. I think he thought, I can design sneakers.
Derek's first study abroad experience, in fact, was in Rome.
He was able to go to London.
Did an internship in Germany.
Internship in New York City.
He designed in Chicago, and now he's on his way to design in California.
To see the excitement in Derek's face when he was moving to California is amazing. For Derek, it's a dream come true.
Enjoy your adventure at Iowa State. Visit ChooseYourAdventure.net.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello?
Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi.
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas with Street at quarterback. Street gives to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
The Dallas Stars have put on camps like this, and we're just really trying to build hockey in the communities around Dallas.
Learn to skate and play hockey for free at Children's Health Star Centers. All throughout DFW, kids ages 4 to 14 can join Rookies programs presented by Lexus. Equipment is included and kids will get a free jersey to take home. For more information, visit dallasstars.com/rookies.
And welcome back. Everybody skating around. We're getting ready for the second period of action between the number 4 seed Ohio Bobcats and the number 5 seed Iowa State. 0-0 ball game. A little bit of a break there in the first period. Seemed to favor Ohio a little bit. No shots before that break. After the break, 13.
Yeah, they played much better after the break. Immediately after the break, they started to pick up the pace of play. It felt more like an Ohio hockey game than it did an Iowa State hockey game, which is definitely big. And then there was the penalty on Iowa State, and that gave Ohio a ton of momentum at the end of frame one. So as we get into the second, we'll see if they can keep that going.
Penalty was huge. Lubin and Azevedo at center ice as Iowa State's going to skate left to right. They win the draw, control the puck. And the second period is underway. 19:49 to go. As Lubin gets knocked to the ice for the Bobcats. Ohio has it here. Rudin loses it, sends it across center ice, flips it in. It's going to be a rush for the puck here as it's going to be Uglum that wins it, wraps around, looking for somebody, decides to keep it, be patient with it. And Iowa State still has it. It's Kramer. Behind the net now. Tries to send it in front. It was a good idea, but nobody was there to clean it up for the Cyclones. Ohio's back the other way. Harkins fires it at the net. It's gloved down by Gedeke. But Ohio keeps it here. A little bit of a turnover now. Harkins so close to the net. Shot, save by Gedeke. Just got his shoulder on it. And the Cyclones come back the other way across center ice. A little bit of a rush here. 2-on-2. Pass behind. Stolen by Craddock. Kyle Craddock. The sophomore from Dayton with a nice steal there. They almost didn't see him. Here come the Cyclones now, trying to push it across their blue line. And Grant Hazel is going to corral it, but it's going to be a rush to the puck as Grolum gives him some good pressure. Tried to get a skate on it. Did Evangelisti. Ohio sends it. Stolen shot here from the point. Just missed. It was Hansen with a great opportunity. Ohio kind of fell asleep there.
That right there is exactly what Iowa State wants. Those turnovers, forecheck, back check, however they can get them, that's how they get their chances.
And it was Hansen on the shot for the Cyclones. Tommy Hansen, the junior from Rochester, Minnesota. Very good chance here in the opening frame. 17:52 to go in the second period. As Ohio has it into their zone now. Frank moves it around. Good pressure there from Nick Sandy. Up along the boards now. Iowa State trying to corral it. Little fight for the puck here. Iowa State takes it. Nice stick work. Across the blue line. 2-on-2 across the left wing. Takes a fall. Sean Bayer did. And the puck gets close to the net, but not a shot there for the Cyclones.
Tell you what, Jared Erickson is having an incredible game for Iowa State. It seems like every time he's on the ice, he makes 2 or 3 solid plays.
Dolan flips it in for the Cyclones, and Thomas sticks it away. He's been very good in the net, and like you said, we've called his name a lot, especially on the defensive end. He's made a lot of those plays that don't come up on the stat sheet, but he's been a big factor so far here in the first and now 3 minutes into the second.
Yeah, his numbers might not always come up on the stat sheet, but his coaches know he's making a lot of plays. His teammates know he's making a lot of plays. You know, you don't always have to be on the stat sheet to be a big-name player for your team.
And a big hit there as Ohio wins the draw. As Harkins takes it across the wing, tries to send it to the point, but the puck gets blocked by Kurt Hallbach. Fight for it now up along the boards. Tried to flick it in, did Dolan. And Ohio has it. Scoring chance here. Shot and scored! Matthew Rudin. Shot from the wing. Beautiful. Up top.
Yeah, that's just a gorgeous shot. Right up in the top right corner. That's the first shot that's beaten Gedeke of this tournament. You can't really blame him. I mean, we're looking at the replay right here, right from the top of the faceoff circle, right into the far side corner. It's just a beautiful shot, well placed.
And he had some stuff to look at in front of him, did Gedeke, but a beautiful goal. And it's 1-0 here. The Bobcats lead 16:33 to go. And that's the goal Ohio wanted, the goal they needed. Here comes Iowa State as Uglum gets it behind the net.
Now, we've said that Iowa State shouldn't, they'll be much less comfortable playing from behind. They don't play the style that allows you to play from behind. So we'll see how they adjust now.
Matthew Rudin, his first goal of the tournament. Iowa State gets it close, point-blank range, shot blocked. And the Cyclones trying to control it. Tried to stick it down. It was a great save there from Thomas.
And that was great defense right there. I didn't catch who it was, but I think it was I'm not sure who it was, but it was a great defensive play there, almost a breakaway for the Bobcats, and it was patted away.
And now Uglum fires a shot that just missed. He's still battling for it. Iowa State putting the pressure on now. Big hit there Nick Sandy. As Iowa State moves it across the blue line now. Uglum, shot, pass in front. He was looking for Trevor Sabo, but Sabo couldn't get his stick out there to try to deflect it in.
You know, you would think that the Ohio goal would have given the Bobcats all the momentum in this game, but it's been the complete other way around. Ever since that goal, it's been all Iowa State. They don't like being down 1-0, and I don't think they're going to be for long if this keeps up.
Out to the point now, shot. One-timer, nice shot, but just missed. Ohio keeps it. Big hit there. Coming back the other way, it's Jared Erickson, the guy we called his name a lot. He sends it in after that big hit and tries to work it around. The Cyclones can't keep it in. They'll have to get back on sides. Hazel now. Pressure from Erickson again. Erickson able to steal it. Andrew Lee takes control, and now it's up along the boards again. Getting a little physical now. We're getting more into the game as Tommy Hansen, the junior from Rochester, brings it across. Iowa State now gets to reset a little bit, maybe catch their breath, and then continue in the offensive zone. Here they come. Across the center line. It's Andrew Alcott trying to swing it around, and it's going to be a whistle for offsides.
Yeah, Alcott wound up entering before the puck there. And so the rule is if you have possession of the puck, you can be skating in backwards when you enter, and that's okay as long as it's in your possession. But Alcott got hit there and lost possession of the puck as he crossed the blue line, and that's why it was offsides.
So a draw here, won by Ohio, as Scott Bagby gets it across, now up along the boards. Justin Paulson for Iowa State trying to get control of it, and the Cyclones are coming back the other way, across the center line. Dolan's pushing. He was to the right of David Rutkowski. Rutkowski tried to feed it in. Dolan was there, but Ohio did a great job on the defensive end.
Yeah, Ohio's almost like forcing Iowa State offsides with physical play right at the blue line. It's really well designed, and Iowa State can't even get in the zone.
13:46 to go in the second period. Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski as Ohio has it behind their net. It's sent through. It's up along the boards. Captain sends it forward. Yeah, watch out is right. Shot by Colton Kramer. Nothing doing. Uglum corrals it. And Ohio just trying to get it out of there. Shot! Send it in! Tony Uglum. The puck kind of just fell into his possession, and he just scooped it around and in past Thomas to even it up at one.
Yeah, that puck dropped right into the slot on Uglum's stick, and he was down on his knees and shot from his knees and buried it into the net.
And I was surprised, he was surprised, and he kind of just spun around from his knees, like you said, and he celebrates on his knees too, because he just tied this game up with 13:05 to go in the second period.
Yeah, and you know, I said if Iowa State kept pushing like that, it wasn't going to be 1-0 for long, and right there Uglum ties it up, and if they keep this momentum going, the Bobcats need to be careful.
So a great response from the Cyclones after being down one. And now the rush is on again. Max Olson for the Cyclones. He was facing pressure. Now Ohio needs to get something going here. You kind of feel like this opening rush, they're trying to get something going as Hallbach has it up against the boards. It's frozen. Sabo. And it's gloved down by Frank, and then it finally kicks out to C.J. Banser, who just sends it in. But, yeah, what a great goal that was.
Yeah, and just a great response from Iowa State. We were questioning how they would play from behind, and they've shown that they can do it now.
And Erickson sent it in, almost deflected off a stick and in. Luckily for Ohio, it didn't. And here they come back the other way. It's going to be McCurney. Nice shot and in! As the goaltender ends up outside the crease.
Yeah, and it looks like he might be down and injured as well. And they're probably going to, yep, and here comes the trainer now to check on him following that Ohio goal.
And the trainer's coming out for Kearney. The goal happened so fast
Yeah, I mean, it was a great setup by Ohio. They developed a 3-on-1 fast break opportunity there, and you'll take that all day. You can see all three of them coming in on the rush, and just a pass right across, a great pull to the backhand to catch Gedeke sliding out the wrong way, and just tucked it back in the near side.
And it was Pikerny Lamprin on the goal, I want to say. It was Pikerny on the assist. Pikerny. And now, after a scoreless first, we've had a little bit of action here, just 8 minutes into the second period. Shots 17-13 in favor of Ohio. And the score also favors Ohio 2-1.
Yeah, and now the story is Matt Gedeke, who's down on the ice. The backup for Iowa State in net is Nikita Kozak. Kozak only played in 6 games compared to Gedeke's 26. Kozak had a 2.74 goals allowed average compared to the 2.5 from Gedeke. It was 160 saves in 15 goals allowed for Kozak. So he hasn't seen a ton of action, 914 save percentage. And now the question will be, I believe they might be disallowing this goal, by the way.
And I was going to say he was so far outside the crease, and the horn went off. I believe the lights went off. But something about that just looked a little fishy as Grant Hazel heads to the box for the Bobcats. And the referees now grabbing their helmets. They were over by the video review. And we're going to get word, it looks like, on the goal from them, the official word. And they just put 2 on the scoreboard.
So, yeah, it looks like the goal's going to count, but we are going to have a penalty at the same time. So if you're Iowa State, you got a chance at a response now. Gedeke's still in the net, which is a very good sign, so the injury wasn't too serious.
Gedeke's still in the net. He was down for a little while. Glad that he's okay. And a face-off at center ice with the score 2-1. 12 minutes to go in the second period. Here come the Cyclones in that burgundy gold-colored jersey. They get it across the blue line. It's Uglum looking to really push the pace here as Sandy has it at the center line to Olsen.
Yeah, Uglum's the scoring leader of this team, and he knows that they need him now more than ever, so he's going to be fighting.
Uglum to Azevedo, just flipped in the air by Matthew Rudin. And Iowa State's got to get back on side. And Marcilli officially gets the goal for the Bobcats. And here come the Cyclones. Shot close to the net. Puck is deflected out to Sandy, who swings it around. Up at the point is Olsen. Now to the left wing. Behind the net now, it's Azevedo to Sandy. Over by that ACHA logo up at the point. Olsen, Sandy, looking to get a shot off here. They get it to Uglum, their main man. Inside, flipped in and over the top. Aaron Azevedo beats Jimmy Thomas to knot the score up at 2.
What a pass from Uglum. What a pass. Right out in front was Azevedo. He saw him, dished it over to him, took the first shot, bounced off the pads, got the rebound right back to him, and then just flipped it right up over the head of the netminder, Thomas, and into the net. Gorgeous goal, great setup, and we're even at 2.
Gorgeous goal, beautiful stick work, 2-2 your score. This game has found new life here in the second period. 10:54 left. A lot of stoppages because there's been so many goals.
Yeah, we had a feeling we were going to get a fun one here, and we definitely have.
Yeah, it's getting fun now. We were warmed up, and now another shot here for Ohio. But it's sticked out. Grolum gets pushed up against the boards, and now it's behind the net. Inside, Ohio with another shot here. Gloved, I want to say Gedeke got a piece of it. And now it's back up to the wing. Ohio's got to move it around. Paulson. Azevedo gets the goal officially. And we've had 4 goals in 10 minutes.
Something really interesting about this is I would say this is Ohio's style of hockey. This is very fast-paced, back-and-forth play, and Iowa State's responded and matched it just as well as Ohio has.
Kurt Hallbach has the puck now. Just trying to get it out. Just doesn't want another goal here for Ohio. They've put the pressure on, and it's Adam Alcott. Alcott, little 3-on-3 here wanted numbers. And here the Cyclones inside tried to get a deflection, but Jimmy Thomas is able to corral it just in between the pads. Iowa State had the right idea there.
Yeah, a little shot into traffic, and it goes off the shaft of Lee's stick and winds up just deflecting right into the chest of Thomas.
So with the break on the ice, there's also going to be a break up here. You're watching ACHA hockey on the ACHA network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. The Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
So the action resumes here at the Comerica Center in Frisco. And if you're just joining us, this game just got hot. And buckle your seatbelts because we had a 0-0 game in the first period, but 4 goals have been scored so far in the second. 9:43 to go. And I get the feeling we're just getting started. The Cyclones trying to keep it. As Harkins has it for Ohio. He was the star Friday, that 5-point performance. He's coming off the hat trick. And the Bobcats have it now behind the net as there's a scrum for a little fight. Uglum pushes the pace. Good pass up ahead. Shot on goal. Jimmy Thomas knocks it away, and Ohio's trying to start the rush here. It's going to be Brian Lubin. A cross shot just wide, and it's inside. There's a scrum in front of the net. Almost a chance for Ohio there, but Iowa State's able to get it out. You thought for sure there was going to be a goal there.
Yeah, I thought that was a goal for sure. I was ready for the goal call, and then I see the puck kick back out into the slot. The second that rebound occurred, I figured that was it, and we were looking at 3-2.
I mean, there were about four players there wrapped up in it trying to either put the puck in the net or get it out if you're on the defensive end. But no goal, still 2-2 the score here. 8:36 to go in the second period. The shot's 20-17 in favor of Ohio. A little bit of a change for the Bobcats as Iowa State tries to push it forward. It's going to be Trevor Sabo who controls it. He's trying to get it inside, a slide and a nice block by Ryan Higgins. Just put his whole body out there as the puck is frozen up along the boards. Higgins made the dive, and now he's right back into things up along the boards.
Yeah, and you love to see that if you're Thomas right now. You see your players putting it all on the line for you.
And it's flipped up ahead to the center logo, and it's back in the grasp of Nick Gross. Ohio controls it. Flip in the middle again, glove down, and Iowa State has it now. Alcott, and there's going to be a whistle.
I don't know about that offsides call right there. I thought they were in clean.
Yeah, Alcott and Banser were ready to start a little 2-on-1, but the official thought it was an offsides.
Yeah, we're going to this puck drop here, and Iowa State looking like they're building up a bit of momentum.
And here come the Cyclones. Send it in. Thomas leaves his post and tries to corral it. The puck sails out of bounds almost by us up here in the booth. 7:38 to go in the second period. Quinn Kuski, Justin DeVellis on the call. So glad to be bringing you this action on the ACHA network all day, all week. And it's day 4 of such a great tournament. This is the quarterfinal round. The semifinals taking place tomorrow. As the Cyclones shot on goal, Jackson Grollam almost snuck it by Jimmy Thomas, but Thomas was able to get a shoulder on it. Puck deflects out, shot wide, high of the net. Grollam had another shot there. That's 2 for him in this possession. And then he fires a nice hit.
It's an illegal hit, too.
And it's an illegal hit is right.
They're going to give him a tripping call on that. And that's the second time that I've seen this ref crew call a trip on a play like that. Yeah, he steps up to make the hit. The player goes and ducks by him, and he winds up catching his legs instead of his body. And I've never been a big fan of that winding up being a tripping call. We had it happen earlier in the tournament as well, and now Grolum's going to go to the box when he was just trying to put a hit on along the boards.
Okay, so Grolum goes to the box, almost like the first period now. This is the third penalty in the game. And Grolum is going to go to the box. Remember, there were 2 in the first period. Each team got 1. Now it's Ohio's chance to go on the power play.
Yeah, Iowa State scored on their second power play of the game, and now Ohio's going to try to respond, and they'll try to be 1 for 2 on the power play as well.
So Houston swings it around. Ohio wants to keep it in this zone for as long as they can before they get a goal. Swinging it around now. Houston tries to get it behind the net, looking for a wraparound chance, looking for a pass inside. Fires it in front. Nothing, but it's saved. Ohio still has it. Shot on goal. Glove save. Gedeke.
That's what you want to see if you're the coaching staff of Iowa State. If you're the defenseman, Gedeke grabs that puck. No rebound. You never want to see those rebounds kick out because that's how goals are scored.
So Evangelisti's in. Maybe he's a player you look for on this power play for the Bobcats.
Yeah, you got to look to your high-end scorers. Evangelisti, you've got just those guys that you've been able to rely on throughout the entire season, like Harkins, like Hazel. These are the guys that you need to look to in this situation.
So it'll be a face-off. There's 1:28 to go in the power play, 6:40 to go in the second period. One team trying to get a lead. It's 2-2. Score is even. Ohio keeping it. Just tape to tape, trying to make a pass. Up along, it stays in, and Jacob Houston tries to send it across to Gross, who gets inside. Shot, blocked. Iowa State gets possession, tries to clear it, and they do.
Yeah, definitely a good clear there from Iowa State. They needed that split second of breathing room.
Yeah, so Houston has it. Iowa State may be able to reset a little bit. Houston brings it across the logo. He's up at the point. Shot, deflected, tried to get it into traffic, maybe deflect off somebody's body or a stick, but it goes out. Far side, good defense by Nick Sandy, pushing Evangelisti up against the boards.
Yeah, Nick Sandy's the captain of this team and a great leader, and he's been hard-working all tournament.
Getting a stick on it, Houston. Harkins now inside. There's a little scrum for it. It's a 3-on-1 down there, and Ohio gets possession. Matthew Rudin couldn't keep it, and Iowa State's able to clear it and get a change.
They desperately needed that change. That same line had been on the penalty kill the entire time. I mean, they'd been on the ice for like a minute, 20 seconds.
One last rush. Jenkins pushes it, gets it close, but it was Max Olson that came in to stop any kind of chance that the Bobcats thought they had. And here's Hazel. Shot. Nice positioning and a very good chance as he sent it in front of traffic.
Yeah, Hazel's shot there, it got deflected, and it kind of turned it into a changeup as Gedeke, he flexed out the pad to make the stop, but then the puck came in like 3 seconds later, and it almost caught him off guard, and he was able to get on it. But definitely a scary moment there for Iowa State.
Yeah, for the Cyclones, it's good that Gedeke was able to get on it. 5:03 left in the second period. Score still 2-2. That power play just ended. That was big for the Cyclones.
Yeah, big for the Cyclones to kill that, and big for momentum. A lot of times the team that kills off the penalty can wind up gaining momentum from that.
And we've seen momentum swings for each team so far today. As the puck is sent across, Hazel corrals it for the Bobcats. Ohio trying to catch their breath here and maybe set up another rush. They were just on the power play. They just had the advantage. Couldn't get anything done as Hallbach steals it away for the Cyclones. Here's a chance for Iowa State. Thrown in front, but sails high and wide. Now it's thrown across. They were looking for C.J. Banser coming across, but they couldn't connect.
Iowa State's starting to click right now. It all started with that turnover, led to a few good shots there. And if they can keep that up, they're going to want to get one. Iowa State hasn't had the lead yet in this game.
Yeah, now here comes Jenkins across center ice. They put it in. It's Pokorny. But they don't have numbers. Iowa State corralling it. It's Dylan Goggin. And here come the Cyclones. Across the middle, Jared Erickson was looking for somebody. It was the right idea.
Yeah, those passes keep getting through, but there's no one on the back end to pot them home. if you're the coaching staff of Iowa State, you got to be telling them, look, these passes are going through. Someone get out there and tap them home.
Stolen by Kramer. Tries to throw it across. Nice shot and a chance. But the drive couldn't go through. Uglum had a picture-perfect shot on goal.
Uglum's doing it all this game. He's already got a goal and an assist, and he just about had a second goal right there.
Glove down. There's a scrum for it in front of Ohio's net. And Iowa State maintains possession. It's Nick Sandy here. He's being pressured by Harkins. And now they try to send it behind the net. Uglum. Out to Azevedo now, who corrals it. Across. In front, it hits the post. And such a chance there, such a chance, but you can hear it from up here. Iowa State near miss.
Yeah, a lot of space out in front. Sandy went ahead and pulled the trigger.
Oh, a wraparound chance there for Banser. And it almost deflected and in. 2:42 to go in the second period. The shots are just about even.
Yeah, and so you have Ohio, who you could see clearly right there. They were racing to try and get that change in as fast as they could. That's how you know they are gassed. And, yep, now they're going to go ahead and use their timeout to try and account for that. That line is absolutely exhausted. They just sat in their own end for a good 2 minutes trying to kill that. And finally, they clear the puck out. They do so illegally, and it winds up becoming icing. Now they have to call their timeout, so that's wasted now for the rest of the game due to this icing. And if you're Ohio, you're just glad that it's not 3-2 right now.
Yeah, like you said, gas. They get out of there unscathed. 2-2, even 2:40 to go. What do the Bobcats need to do for the next 2 minutes, 40 seconds to try to regain that lead that they had just minutes ago?
Right now, regaining the lead is the last thing that you're worried about if you're Ohio. You want to get it out of your end without icing it and get these guys off of the ice. Right now, it is all Iowa. Ohio's lucky that none of that went in. Sandy had a great shot that went off the post. There was a wraparound try that probably could have gone in. There's been a lot of good opportunities for the Cyclones, and they win the draw here and keep it going.
Evangelisti wins the draw for Ohio. And Jenkins is trying to run after it, but Hallbach gets possession. Kyle Craddock gave a little pressure for the Bobcats, but now it's sent ahead, glove down by Nick Gross. He sends it across the center line out to Evangelisti. Evangelisti swings it around, throws it at the net, but Gedicke's there. A little bit of a scrum here.
Don't take a dumb penalty here.
Yeah, dumb penalty, not what you want to do. You want to be physical, but you definitely don't want to be, you don't want to have any unforced errors at the end of a period, especially. We've seen that in a couple past games here in the tournament. It could come back to bite you.
Yeah, I mean, we've had situations where players have taken really bad penalties, and that's the kind of situation where a really bad penalty can occur, and that's just the absolute last thing you want to do right now if you're Iowa State. You've got all the momentum. Don't go to the box and give Ohio another power play.
Every step of the way here, since it's knotted up, every penalty is going to be crucial. It's a chess match right now.
Oh, without a doubt, it's a chess match. And with both these teams even at 2, as we're getting closer and closer to the final frame in this game, the next goal is going to be a big one.
Ohio wins the draw. They try to throw it in front of the net. Houston did, but unsuccessful. They keep it in. It's in front of the net, but Gedicke's able to get it in his pads. And again, a little stuff after the whistle. It's Azevedo, Lubin. Maybe they got their sticks tangled up a little bit, but they got some words for each other after.
Yeah, these are two teams that we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. They know each other, and they don't like each other. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen stuff like this sooner in this game, as now it's finally starting to break down, and we're getting into these situations. And we'll see as this game continues on if this continues to get worse.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the second period. We've had some action here in the second. So much scoring already, and the score's knotted up. 4 versus 5 in the tournament. They've played each other before. We had a stoppage in play early on. And now no holds barred here for either team. They're pulling all the punches. It's win or go home. No pool play, single elimination. And you need it here. You got to lay it all on the line. Matthew Rudin now throws it up top. Good shot chance. And we have a man down for Iowa State as Ohio tries to continue their offensive push.
Yeah, all that shot blocking, finally it culminates to this. Just caught him right in the outside of that thigh, right where there's a gap in that padding. So there's nothing there, just a little bit of that jersey, just some fabric between him and that puck. That was a pretty hard shot too, so might have Charlie horsed him, definitely hurts. And hopefully he'll be okay, give him a little bit of time, and I bet we'll see him back out on the ice.
Yeah, the man who's down is Justin Paulson. We obviously hope he's okay. With 1:21 to go in the second period, Ohio 25 shots, Iowa 21. Even, we've had rushes from both teams. It's just both teams, they're trying to gain that hold on the game. They're trying to grab the reins. One team grabs it, you think they'll have it. The other team comes back, answers. So both teams, they're really not, they're refusing to budge at this point.
Yeah, this game has been extremely close, and it's been pretty much what we expected it to be. This game, I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a goal within the last 5 minutes of regulation that either sends this game to overtime or finishes this game at a one-goal finish.
Yeah, very well could be. There's 1:21 to go in the second period. We could see one in the closing 81 seconds as there's a face-off here in Ohio's offensive zone. Trying to win the draw. They've been pretty good at that today as they have it behind the net. Trying to gain possession. Hazel trying to swing it around. He's looking, but Max Olson doing a good job pressuring the puck for Iowa State. Now a wraparound chance here. Puck is loose in front of the net. Nobody can really see it, but it gets moved back out to the wing. It's up along the boards now as Olson's trying to corral it for the Cyclones. And Iowa State finally gets it. Maybe a chance here. They don't have numbers. It's a chase for the puck between Hazel and Sabo. Both are battling for it. They both push each other up against the boards, and Brian Lubin's able to take it for the Bobcats. And 32 seconds to go in the second period. Andrew Lee fighting for it. He's with Hazel as well. 22 seconds now. Iowa State has a final chance here in the period. Trying to clear it. Iowa State keeps it in. It's Sean Baird who's trying to do his best for Ohio. 12 seconds. The puck is loose. In front. Wraparound chance coming around the net. Trying to get it in front. They try it. Almost finds success. A great shot. Iowa State trying to force it. Time expires in the period.
What a chance. That right there, that was honestly one of the best chances that Iowa State's had all game, and it didn't wind up in a goal. What a save by Thomas, because you give up a goal, that would have been like with 3 seconds left.
And let's take a look. You just saw the replay. Jackson Grolum was right there. And, you know, he almost had a shot there. Sean Baird played great defense right there in front of the crease, but that could have been really bad for Ohio, so you kind of catch your breath there because it all almost happened under 10 seconds.
Yeah, Grolum came up to the referees and asked him, he said, why was that not a penalty there? He had a man laying on top of him in the crease for that whole last 7 seconds of the period, and that completely took him out of the play, and he was supposed to be the one standing in front looking for a deflection. And you can see the players are still, I think it's Azevedo there that's talking with both referees, asking why was there no call there, and we'll see what happens as we come out in this third period.
Interesting. So no call, maybe could have been a call, but none. The period ends 2-2 your score, 4 goals in the period. Third period action coming up next. We're going to send it to our guys over at the Intermission Report. We're going to take a break first on the ACHA Network.
I'm not ready. No, no, wait! Go!
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Play picked up in the second set of 22-2 our score between Ohio Bobcats and the Iowa State Cyclones. Casey Roll with you alongside Sam Fleming on the ACHA second period intermission report. Partner, we can say one thing, there wasn't a delay in the second period, so that's a positive in itself. Another positive, we've got goals, 4 combined, 2 for each side.
And we've got a great game heading into the third and final period of play. A lot of action going back and forth, 2 goals for each side, a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion, some physicality picking up, and we saw some of that energy and emotion towards the end with a little bit of jawing going into the locker room. This could be a very exciting third period we're set in store for between the Cyclones and the Bobcats.
Yeah, last 5 minutes of action, Iowa State tied the game at 2, and then there were a couple big hits, a shot with less than 2 minutes to go by Ohio, which had some implications on the Iowa State bench. There was some jawing after that, but nothing more.
Nothing more than that, just a little bit of back and forth. Hey, we're here. This is for the national tournament spot, the first spot in the semifinals. And both of these teams want to get there. Very cherished programs at the ACHA Division I level. You mentioned tied for the most tournament appearances. We talk about Ohio. They're the ones that have the most national tournaments currently here in the tournament, and then the first ever national champions in Iowa State in 1992. So there's a lot of history, a lot of desire to win the tournament this year and get back with the first bid in the semifinals.
Going into goal scoring, the first goal for Ohio was scored by Matthew Rubin less than 4 minutes into the game, and then the second goal, an absolute laser by Gabe Lamperin.
Gabe Lamperin with an absolute laser of a shot. And let me tell you, Ohio has some of the best shooters on this team and in the ACHA Division I tournament. They're so good shooting the puck that when they find open space, you might as well count it as a goal immediately, because a lot of those quality scoring chances Ohio's going to bury. And another thing to add, Tyler Harkins picked up an assist on the first goal. That is now 6 points in 2 games after a 5-point game. 5 points for Harkins on all 5 goals in that game against UNLV, so Harkins off to a flying start.
That's 5 more points than I've scored in my entire hockey career, let alone 1 game, so big game for the young man. And that's also without Gianni Evangelisti getting on the score sheet today, with Ohio getting 2 goals.
And that's a good thing when Evangelisti hasn't stepped up as big. He's had a couple chances. There's guys to back him up. Harkins, again, one of the key players in this tournament, with 2 different goal scorers for Ohio. They're getting contributions from all around their lineup, which is really good to see.
And for Iowa State, they've had a couple goals themselves. One of them, a spinorama in the opening frame.
Tony Uglum with the spinorama goal, a guy I said that needed to step up if Iowa State wanted to get back in this game, and he has. 2-point game for Uglum, goal and an assist. Points number 2 and 3 of the tournament. He's had a really good game for this team, stepping up with the leadership aspect, and that goal really helped Iowa State to gain some momentum.
And speaking of Iowa State, they were out-faced off in the first period. A different story right now. Only 6 face-off wins for the Bobcats in the second frame.
Yeah, Iowa State seemed to figure out the face-offs. As we've seen, face-offs have contributed a big factor in these games because they're one of the biggest 50-50 puck battles you can win in order to win a hockey game. And I think Iowa State has done a really good job getting back into the face-off winning category, but also that key block shot by Justin Paulson at the end was a little shaken up. And not only was Paulson shaken up on the second goal for Ohio, the goaltender Matt Gedke was down for a little bit after a collision with Grant Hazel. Led to a power play goal, though, for Iowa State to retie the game.
And Sam, we touched up upon it earlier in the broadcast. This tournament has had an MO of when there's a delay, an extensive delay, a large portion of goals can be scored in a short amount of time. For both goaltenders, what's the key to avoid going with the trend?
Just keep playing the same way and try to have your defense help you out. Get clear shooting lanes so you can see the puck. We've seen a couple of the goals have come through traffic today. So if Thomas and Gedke can see the puck, they're two of the best in the ACHA, as is many goalies. But I do think they just have to try to have their defense work with them, clear the lanes so they can see the shots, but also keep playing their game, because even though giving up 2 apiece, Thomas and Gedke have played phenomenal.
Going to special teams now. Ohio on the power play 0 for 2. Their last man advantage, only 1 shot on goal.
And Ohio, after we talked about they'd had the best power play in the first period of the 2 opportunities, it's actually Iowa State's power play goal to tie the game that is the first power play goal on the special teams. But for Ohio, it's a change in how the special teams goes. They've got to reestablish what they had on that first man advantage, which is move the puck and don't try to force shots. That's a big problem we saw with special teams from Arizona last night. They tried to force too much with the shooting. Just wait for open space, get guys open, move the puck around, and be patient. And I think Ohio can get their power play back rolling.
Since the delay ended, what's been the biggest thing that stood out to you?
Both of these teams still have energy and emotion, and it's a very closely contested hockey game. I think we're in for a great third period here. There's a lot to look forward to. I wouldn't step away if I'm anyone watching at home, because this game has a potential to be one of the games of the tournament heading down to the wire. And who knows, partner, we might be in for some overtime if this sticks up.
We might be in for overtime. All we know is after 40 minutes, it's 2-2 between Ohio and Iowa State. If you miss any action, be sure to catch it on ACHA tonight on achahockey.org immediately following the conclusion of every game on each day. Division I, Division II, and Division III hockey at the ACHA 2019 National Championship. So after 40, it's 2-2 between Iowa State and Ohio. We send it to break, but when we return, Justin Navalis and Quinn Kuski have the call for the final frame between the Iowa State Cyclones and the Ohio Bobcats. You've been watching the second period intermission report on the ACHA Network.
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. We get tired, but it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello?
Surely that can't be practical. But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest. Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
You ready? This guy's not ready. You're not ready. Let's go!
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them. With a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Iowa State was the place where Derek began his adventure.
Derek was one of the first students in the industrial design program.
Our apartment together was a design studio. A light bulb went off one day. I think he thought, I can design sneakers.
Derek's first study abroad experience, in fact, was in Rome.
He was able to go to London.
Did an internship in Germany.
Internship in New York City.
He designed in Chicago, and now he's on his way to design in California.
To see the excitement in Derek's face when he was moving to California is amazing. For Derek, it's a dream come true.
Enjoy your adventure at Iowa State. Visit ChooseYourAdventure.net.
You deserve an extraordinary university experience, and that is Ohio University. We're a national leader in Fulbright award-winning students with professors dedicated to your future success. We've won 38 Pulitzer Prizes, a Nobel Prize in Chemistry, and were awarded 9 new patents in 2017 alone. We're the most exciting band in the land and home to the most beautiful campus on earth. Choose the extraordinary experience. Choose Ohio University.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Comerica Center in Frisco. Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski on the call for this 2-2 game, which is headed to the third period. It's been very close. It's been very exciting, especially that second period. And we've seen a lot of goals, 4 goals. Iowa State was on the power play. They had a great power play goal to tie this one. Tony Uglum for the Cyclones, 2 points in that period. He's been huge.
Yeah, Uglum's been all over the place. He almost had a third goal in that period. He almost had another assist in that period. There's been quite a few times where Uglum has made a big difference in this game. And I said it right after Ohio scored the first one. Iowa needed their big-name players to step up, and Uglum has done exactly that. He has stepped up and done everything that Iowa has needed him to do, and then some. and he's just playing a great brand of hockey right now, and he's been exactly what Iowa State needs him to be for them. And if this game continues and he makes a few more big plays, he's going to push him into the next round.
Now, on the other side, if you look at Ohio, number 22, Tyler Harkins, has a point in this game, makes 6 in the tournament because he had that 5-point performance last game. They talked about it on the intermission report. This Ohio team, such great shooters. Some of the great shooters in this ACHA tournament. They've, I don't want to say been held at bay, but Iowa State's done a good job of responding whenever they've needed to come up with a big play. They've been able to tie the game to knot it up at 2.
Yeah, I would agree. I wouldn't say held at bay, but definitely slowed down. I mean, this is a team that's capable of way more than 2 goals with 40 minutes of play, and the Iowa State defense has done a great job of kind of holding them off and slowing them down a little bit in this game. And as we continue on here, we saw 2 periods of very different types of play. The first period, it was a final of 0-0 after that period, and it just seemed like neither team really was able to get a whole lot going. And then in the second period, it was wide open. 2 goals from each side. Both times it was an Ohio goal followed by an Iowa State goal. So Iowa State has yet to lead in this game. If they can come and get one here early in this second period, it'll be interesting to see how Ohio reacts to being down.
And like we said, winner of this game moves on, winner go home, and they'll get to play in the semifinal. This is a quarterfinal matchup. And Iowa State is going to skate from right to left here in the third period. They win the draw, and we'll start with it. It's up along the boards. Olsen, the sophomore out of Northfield, Minnesota, and there's a huge scrum now. 5 players in. It's frozen as all the players are trying to battle it out. Azevedo giving chase. Him and Brian Lubin try to get there. Now people being checked up along the boards, and Iowa State comes out with it. Here's a little rush. One of the number 7s with the shot on goal. It's Tony Uglum, the man we talked about. A nice shot there, but couldn't get it going.
No surprise, the first great chance of this period comes off the stick of Uglum.
And that's something they also talked about in the intermission. It's both number 7s for each team. Uglum and then Evangelisti for the Bobcats. Get those guys going, and whatever team does that will find success. 2-2, 18:53 left in the third period.
That was Justin Paulson that just dumped that puck back into the zone. Good thing to see him back on the ice.
Yeah, Goggin dumps it in. Grolum, after that last 20 seconds of that second period, thought there should have been a penalty there. Maybe he stayed after a little bit to talk to the official.
Yeah, there was a bit of conversation with the refs. He got held down right in the slot. Player just laid on top of him, and he was very upset, and rightfully so. This is playoff hockey, though. Refs let it go.
So a face-off now in Ohio's offensive zone. It'll be Evangelisti, the junior from Dublin, Ohio, set trying to win the draw, and Ohio's going to come out with it. And it's going to be Garrett Jenkins who controls it. He's coming up along the side, and his shot is deflected. Cyclones trying to just push it out. A little bit of contact here early on in the first minute and a half. Now here come the Bobcats. It's Evangelisti. Oh, and the puck is loose here. Ohio picks it up. Turnover. Hazel has it. Throws it inside. Evangelisti puts a shot on the goal, but glove save by Gedeke.
Yeah, play starting out a little slow here in this third period. I think both teams are a bit afraid to push too hard offensively because you don't want to be the team that gives up that next goal. You know, you have 4 total goals in over 40 minutes. You know, these are 2 teams that a lot of games have been separated by 1. So it wouldn't be unthinkable that we could have a 3-2 final score here.
And Ohio was 0 for 2 on the power play in that second period. So Iowa State's done a good job even when they've been a man down. They've really just battled tooth and nail trying to get this done. As Zach Frank is frozen up along the boards, trying to battle for it. Looks like him and Olsen are trying to get it. Somebody just trying to kick it out of there. And they can't. It kind of squirts out in front. Iowa State controls it, flips it up ahead. It's a 2-on-2. They're trying to push it across. Erickson gets it in. and Lee corrals it. He swings behind the net. Trying to get something in front here. He puts a shot on. Thomas blocks it. And here's Uglum. Trying to maintain possession, trying to get that shot. Which team's going to fold or budge? No offsides called, and they try to get a shot on. It's behind the net.
Helmet came off.
Yeah, somebody's helmet came off. It looks like that man is Colton Kramer. So we've seen a glove come off in the first period. Now we've seen a helmet come off.
We've seen boards come off.
We've seen boards come off.
Yeah, this game's really had it all. I love the reaction from the Ohio team there as that helmet popped off Kramer. Just gave him a little rub on the top of the head. You know, nothing too upsetting for Kramer there. You know, just a little friendly bump.
Nothing malicious, a little friendly bump. I mean, these two teams definitely have a little bit of respect for each other, but they're going very, very hard. They're laying it all on the line because you lose, you go home.
Yeah, winner of this game will play the winner of Minot Adrian right after this. It'll be the 1:30 puck drop.
And that's going to be a good game. Keep it here on the ACHA network to watch that. And if you miss any of the games today, you can always check the highlights tonight on ACHA Tonight following our last contest of the night. As the Cyclones push it ahead, it's Grolum. Stick goes flying.
Why not?
Why not, my not? And here come the Cyclones. Trying to stick it down, and we're going to have a whistle.
It's interesting. We had the referee was waving that they were on sides, but the line judge came over and called it offside. So a bit of a difference in opinion, but when it comes to offsides, the linesmen have say.
Yeah, I was not expecting that whistle, but in any event, we have one. There will be a face-off as Erickson tries to dig it out. Ohio controls it, but it's in Iowa State's offensive zone. They try to flick it in front of the net, can't do it. Glove down by Kurt Hallbach. And it's out to Olsen, who's up at the point. Tries to swing it around to Andrew Lee. It's behind the net now, where Iowa State wants it. Olsen, cross, inside behind the net, gets it by Thomas. Now it's close. Good pressure there from Ohio, and they corral the puck. Grant Hazel takes it up. Drew Magyar, and a nice hit there to stop Magyar from giving chase. And now it's frozen up along the boards. Players are hitting the deck. Hazel's trying to dig it out. He's trying to take it for himself. Try to set up a scoring chance, but can't. And when all is said and done, Olsen has it for the Cyclones. He pushes it up ahead. A nice pass. And here come the Cyclones. Colton Kramer shot is saved. The man who just lost his helmet almost put one in. And the Cyclones have it again. Azevedo to the front. He tried to find Uglum, and now the puck is in front. The net gets jarred loose.
Guess who develops another scoring chance? Azevedo and Uglum. They've been the two this game, and that continues here. A great chance for the two of them and a great chance for Kramer. But the defense from your other number 7, Gianni Evangelisti, managing to defend Kramer off of that puck, forced him to take a shot he really didn't want to, and kind of made that scoring chance a lot less deadly.
The shots are even, 26 all, 15:09 to go in the third period. The score is 2-2 at the Comerica Center. Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski on the call as the Bobcats grab the puck. And they're trying to set something up on their offensive end, but they won't be able to get it through. A nice scoring chance here. CJ Banser has it inside. And now Grolum gloves it down after that nice opportunity for the Cyclones. They get another one. Grolum close to the net. But Ohio does a good job. The Bobcats are going to get a change. And here comes Banser again. He just had that chance, looking for another one. Stick is broken. Banser broke his stick, and he'll have to skate off.
It's a really awkward way that stick broke right there. I'm not sure how that happened.
Garrett Jenkins has it behind the net. He's faced by 3 Cyclones. But Kyle Craddock is there with him in front. He was looking for Evangelisti, I believe. Would have been a nice chance, but just the timing was a little bit off. Here we go, 3-on-2. Here come the Cyclones. Shot on goal into the pads of Jimmy Thomas.
Another good chance for Iowa State right there, but something of interest, That was Banter who stick broke again right there. That's his second stick break of the game. He's going to run out of hockey sticks if this keeps up. It seems like every time he's on the ice, his sticks are getting roughed up and beaten and battered. At least this time when his stick broke, a board didn't break as well. So I guess small victories.
Sticks are flying, helmets are flying. I mean, he's going to run out of hockey sticks.
Goal.
Iowa State with a chance and a quick goal there. It's number 7, Tony Uglum, with the goal to put the Cyclones up 3-2 with 14:01 to go in this contest.
You know, who else? Who else but Uglum? He's already got 1 goal. He already had an assist on the second one, and now he's got his second goal of the game, his 3rd point of the game. And for the first time today, Iowa State has the lead. This is the first time all tournament Ohio's been behind, so now we have to see how they're going to react.
And they said it in the intermission report, almost like mind readers. They said the number 7s need to get going for both teams. Iowa State's number 7 gets them going there. 3-2, big lead, crucial moment in the game. And maybe they can maintain this lead for the rest of the way, but we'll see.
Azevedo with the assist on that goal. That's his second point.
And it's gloved down by Matthew Rudin. And now the Bobcats are going to have to play down a goal, which they haven't done yet in this tournament. And it's frozen now up along the boards. Ohio spent a lot of time over in that area so far, and they're close to the net. They try to flick it in front, but nobody was there. Big shot from Hazel one time.
I don't know how Gadecki saw that puck. That one came right in through a ton of traffic, and he was able to get on top of it and cover it up, but I don't know how he saw it.
Perimeter shot. With the shooters Ohio has, I mean, any shot like that has the chance to go in. There was a lot of mustard on it.
Yeah, bomb through traffic, never a bad shot to take.
But we're going to take another look at the goal from Uglum. I mean, he just basically diving, giving it everything he had. And that's why the Cyclones are up 3-2. A great start for them. They came out hot. There's 13 minutes to go left in this game. And Ohio's going to need to tie it up if they want their season to continue. And Iowa State has it again. Now they got to put the pressure on. Maybe get a 2-goal lead here. It's Grolum who fires. But it's too high. Ohio gets the rebound. Scott Bagby. Freshman from Downers Grove. Now here's a shot. It almost sails into the net over Thomas's glove. I think he got a piece of it, but even after he got the piece, it almost had a chance.
It was a great shot from Grolum. He's still feeling himself from that last game. He hasn't done as much in this one, but his presence has definitely been felt.
Grolum's been huge. Now Ohio trying to force a little bit of a turnover, take advantage of an errant pass. They can't. And now it's flicked ahead. Erickson. He gets it in front to Lee, who tries to get it behind. Looking for another Cyclone, but there wasn't one there. And now the Bobcats. Lee is going to chase after it. Him and Thomas are there. Lee steals it. Thomas was out of the goal for a second, trying to keep it in. The Cyclones do, but the official says Sandy was just a little late.
Yeah, maybe that puck just barely clipped to the outside of that blue. That was really close. You know, that's a tough call if you're a referee because you don't get a very good look at that. And of course, the linesman on the far side of that blue line definitely has the best vantage point on it, though must have just barely crept out of the zone.
What do you got to do if you're Ohio here?
You've got to get back to how you played early in that second period. They had good offense going. Right now, it's been all Iowa State this whole period.
All Iowa State. Talked about a team trying to take the reins of the game, and then the other team usually comes right back to tie. That's been the story, but will it continue? Iowa State has it in their offensive zone. Shot is deflected. It was good defense from Kyle Craddock, but Iowa State still has it. They're looking to get it up top to the point. Olsen, Azevedo, fires it back behind the net instead. Timmy Turnout. Call his name. Haven't called his name much today, but he gets it, and here come the Bobcats. It's a 3-on-3. They get it to Evangelisti. A shot by Craddock nearly goes in, but just sails wide. A beautiful chance
from Evangelisti there. Spin around pass.
And then a nice chance for Ohio. Now quickly back the other way. Iowa State has a chance, as does normally happen. You get a scoring chance, and then the other team fires back the other way. Also a great shot, but Jimmy Thomas was there to make the glove save.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth play, and you noted earlier in this period that shots were even at 26 apiece. When this period started, Iowa State was down 4. If you look, now they're up 4, so they're out shooting Ohio pretty handedly in this third period. If you're Ohio, you've got to get some offense going, and you saw that pass from Evangelisti for that great chance, and that's what you need to get going here. Use that to build some momentum.
Yeah, 10:53 to go, and the clock's ticking on Ohio here. They trail by a goal. They need to get that one. Now, Ohio hasn't trailed in this game.
Yeah, they haven't. They haven't, not just this game, but the whole tournament. And there you see a late shot there from Harkins after the whistle. Didn't put it anywhere close to the goal, but it's just not something you want to see, and the referees go ahead and have a word with them. I don't think anything penalty-wise will come out of it, but probably telling them don't do that again.
So we'll get to see a little bit what Ohio's made out of, because they trail by a goal with just 10 minutes to go in the game. And they need some little bit of that Bobcat magic here. That offense has got to come alive if they want to continue playing in this tournament. Swung around. They have it here. Pass is deflected. Lubin nearly had a shot at it off the deflection, but it was just wide of his stick. And Sean Bayard is going to take it forward, fires it at the net, but too weak and easily saved by Gedeke.
Yeah, Gedeke's rebound control has been very, very good in this game. A big improvement from the Stony Brook matchup. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're Iowa State.
Yeah, so 10:22 to go. Shots 32-29 in favor of the Cyclones. And we are going to take a break here with that 10:22 to go in the third period. Ohio trailing by 1. Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski. We'll be right back.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Budget Car Rental, the preferred rental agency of the ACHA. Hogan Transportation, official tournament partners of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. Edge Protect, protecting goalie skate blades since 2004 and official sponsor of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
Buckle your chin straps. Do not touch that dial wherever you're watching. You're going to want to watch the last 10 minutes, 22 seconds of this contest, the quarterfinals, as Ohio tries and wills. They're trying to knot it up. They trail by 1 with their season on the line. And now, loose puck. Lee has it for the Cyclones. Can he get a shot? Saved by Jimmy Thomas. He was on his back.
Oh, that's a big one right there.
Might be the save of the season for the netminder.
Might have saved their season right there with that one. If Ohio comes and ties this game, that's the save to remember. Breakaway for Lee, one of the better chances Iowa State's had all game, and just absolute robbery. And here we go, still 3-2.
Such great goaltending on that play to keep his team in it. And you got to know Thomas has got to up his game here. Got to, because you can't fall down 2 goals. You just can't.
Well, here comes a power play for Ohio and a huge opportunity. You're 0 for 2 on the power play so far today. This could be the one. I don't expect to see Ohio be 0 for 3, but Iowa State's defense has been fantastic all game, and they got this huge one here to kill, and if they kill this, that's going to give them a lot of momentum to close this game out.
One of their first goals Friday against UNLV was on the power play. Ohio really needs to convert here. It's a fortuitous power play as Kramer heads to the sin bin. And 9:50 left in the third period. Face-off is won by the Bobcats. Gross has it. He swings it across. He's up by that logo, looking for a shot. Gets it out to Evangelisti, who fires but misses off the pads of Gedeke, and it's cleared out.
Yeah, if you're Ohio, getting that chance is awesome, but you can't one and done a possession. You've got to get extended. You've got to get extended chances, more than one shot of possession.
Evangelisti trying to go at the heart of that Cyclone defense. It's fired, but the puck sails wide behind the net and now back out. The Bobcats are going to need to get onside. Iowa State doing a good job of killing it as best they can, but they got to keep it up for the entire minute 20. And Gedeke with another save. There's 9:07 to go in the contest and a minute 17 to go on the power play.
Yeah, when we get out of this, we're going to be under 8 to play. Then if you're Ohio, you're seeing that time tick down, but you can't panic. You only need one. So, really, even if there are 20 seconds on the clock, 20 seconds is enough time. So you just got to stay calm. Don't panic. Don't push too hard, because then you give Iowa State one.
And they got Harkins in there for Ohio as Evangelisti gets sent out for the faceoff. But Harkins, remember, 6 points in this tournament, 1 today, 5 on Friday. So maybe he's a guy you keep your eye on if you're watching at home. As Iowa State tries to get it out, but it's gloved down, kept in. Great job by Ohio, but Iowa State backs it out again and clears it.
Yeah, Ohio's trying to keep possession of it, but if you let that puck get too far away from your body, Iowa State's going to be all over it, and they'll clear it out in a split second.
And Jacob Houston leading the charge. Gross has it on the wing. Houston rebounds and tries to send it in front of the net. Nobody there. It's Harkins to Houston. And Iowa State clears it again. And Justin Paulson doing a good job on the defensive end for the Cyclones. There's 8:17 to go, just 26 seconds left on the power play for the Bobcats. Last rush here, maybe. And we're going to have another whistle.
The offsides on that one. It was.
I want to say it was Turnau.
Yeah, he entered
got out in
early.
front a little bit. Yeah, so offsides, not good if you're the Bobcats. A little unforced error there. 22 seconds left on the power play.
You got to win this draw here if you're Ohio. If you don't, Iowa State can clear the zone.
And Iowa State did their best as time runs out on this power play. Maybe one final chance. There's 10 seconds. And instead, they just fire it at the goal. Maybe get something underneath the pads or something. Hazel's idea did not work out. Gedeke with another save.
Yeah, Gedeke goes ahead and covers that up. And maybe that's what you were looking for there if you're Ohio, because you have Gedeke now covered up. You got 8 seconds still on the power play. If you win this draw, you might be able to get 1 or 2 shots away before Kramer comes out the box.
Yeah, like we said, it's that chess match mentality of this game. And Hazel tries to get it inside. They try to get a deflection off Lubin's stick, but Gedeke's able to turn it away. And the power play is over. Kramer skates back on for the Cyclones. Ohio's trying to keep it in. They do. And it's behind the net now. Jenkins has it. It's even strength. As Jenkins skates around, he gets room and almost puts it in. It hits the post, but Jenkins thought for sure he had tied this game.
Yeah, I thought this game was tied. That puck rings out across the post. If you're Gedeke, you got to give that post a kiss right now, because it just saved you and kept your team in this, in the lead.
And on defense, it was just a little slip up that allowed that little bit of space to fire that shot off. As we look at the instant replay, just that mere second of space, and he's inside, and it just goes off the post. Gedeke, well, very fortunate.
And so what you don't see in that replay, Max Olson actually dropped his stick in that corner, as Iowa State's taking a timeout here. Max Olson dropped his stick in the corner, and instead of just keeping pressure on without a stick and just using his body as a shield, he bent down, stopped pressuring, and bent down to try and pick his stick up. And the second he did that, that gave space to Ohio, and that's what allowed them to get out and get that opportunity and pull the trigger on that shot. And if you're Iowa State's coach right now, you're telling Olson right now, he's like, don't do that. You just stay with them. I'd rather you be there in person without a stick than completely out of the play.
And I was just about to ask you that question. If you're on the Iowa State bench and you're in that huddle right now, what are you telling your players for this last 7 minutes, 20 seconds in the game with a 1-goal lead.
You tell them the defense has been working. They've played a great brand of hockey here in this third period. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. You're not allowing much breathing room for Ohio, and just keep closing off shooting lanes, closing off passing lanes, forcing turnovers. And as Ohio, as we get closer to the end, they're going to start to panic. And as they start to panic and push harder, you're going to get that counterattack, and that's how you get one. And
this game was nearly tied up. I mean, I'm talking an inch of room. We almost had a tie game, but instead 3-2, still your score with just over 7 minutes to go in this quarterfinal matchup. The winner gets the winner of Adrian and Minot State.
Yeah, whoever wins this game gets Adrian Minot. Adrian Minot will be a great game. The winner of this against the winner of Adrian and Minot will be a great game. Well, there's not a bad game on the slate for the rest of this tournament.
And a shot on goal there by Justin Paulson. Now, Iowa State's just got to fire it at the net, maybe extend your lead here, maybe get a little bit of luck. You got luck on one end with the post. Maybe you get another little lucky shot here on the offensive end. Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski on the call, 6:44 to go in this contest. As the shots are just about even, both teams giving it everything they have on the offensive end. And now the puck squirts free. Inside was Brian Lubin. He tried to backhand it in, but sailed high.
That's 2 turnovers now.
And they have it again. Gross. Outside. He gets it to Drew Magyar, who fires it. But nothing doing. Lee and Lubin, the 2 L's, are up along the boards here, just trying to get possession of the puck.
That was 2 defensive zone turnovers there for Iowa State. And if you're their coach, you're losing your mind right now watching that happen.
Houston fires. Goes around. Harkins can't corral it. And now Iowa State has numbers here. A little one-on-one. It's going to be Grolem. Tries to get inside, but it was Gross who got on his knees and blocked the puck away. It's going to be Ohio going back the other way. Here's Rubin. Shot sails. It goes off Nick Sandy's stick. And with 5:48 to go, we'll have another face-off.
Yeah, and right here you're going to get that better angle of the post shot. Right there you see Olsen bending down to pick up his stick, and that's what gives the space to Ohio, and the shot comes in off of the post.
And it's such a great point by you, Quinn. Such a great point. It's that 1-2 second thing, those little things you don't always catch, and it almost led to disaster for the Cyclones. 5:38 to go in the game. Time is ticking now. Last goal for the Cyclones scored by Tony Uglum, made it 3-2. And now Ohio has it. Here's Bayard. Tries to feed it inside to Evangelisti, who kind of let it just go through his legs, tried to get a skate on it. And Craddock had it up along the boards, but now the Cyclones have it. And they'll fire it just to clear it.
Yeah, a lot of Ohio fans thinking they were referees thought that should have been an icing.
And Evangelisti gets it across. Now it's flicked in by Jacob Houston. Ohio's going to get a change here as Erickson corrals it for the Cyclones. Tried to get it to Baird, who lost it. And swinging around is Houston for the Bobcats. He has it across the center line, across the blue line, fakes to fire, and then sends it across where Gross will grab it. Nick Gross, the junior from Fairfax, Virginia. Up along the boards, it's Dylan Goggin who tries to get it for the Cyclones. Players are on the floor. Lee gets it. And Iowa State able to get that change. Flick it ahead, 4:10 to go left in the game.
Yeah, still plenty of time for Ohio, but it's starting to run short. You got to start pushing for something soon.
Starting to run short is right. As the Cyclones try to push it across center ice, Alcott flings it into the zone. It's Harkins for the Bobcats who corrals it. The 6-point man so far in the tournament. He's been quiet in the third period. Here's C.J. Banser. And Iowa State just throwing it into the zone, trying to clear it. Once they have to defend, they try to clear it. And now here come the Bobcats. A shot on goal by Brian Lubin. Just tried to fire it as hard as he could at Gedeke. Maybe get a little rebound chance.
Yeah, Gedeke's rebound control has been good, but if you're Iowa State, you can't turtle right now. Like, it's starting to look like they're trying to consider that turtle, and if you play not to lose, you tend to lose. So don't think, oh, I'm just going to cross the red line and dump it over and over again. No, sometimes the best defense is a great offense. If you can keep play in the Ohio defensive end, they're not scoring if they're 200 feet away from the net.
And now a shot fired. There was traffic in front of Gedeke, which could have been disastrous, but he's able to get it in between his pads for the save. 3:23 to go in the game. And like you said, I mean, if you're going to play not to lose, you may find more trouble doing that than just playing to keep it on your offensive end.
Yeah, you've been playing a great game of hockey all day. Just keep playing like you have been. It's been working. Don't change because there's 3 minutes left in the third.
And now a big face-off here. Ohio needs to win this draw, and they don't. Sandy fires it ahead, but they do keep it in. It's Grant Hazel. He's been big all day for the Bobcats. With the puck, he's been controlling the puck all day. And players diving, trying to save it. Puck sails out of bounds, looks like.
Faceoff's coming into the offensive zone.
Faceoff's coming. 3:05 to go in this one. Now, what's the mindset here if you're Ohio? I mean, clock's ticking. You obviously don't want to press, but I mean, the time's getting close here.
Yeah, you almost do need to get to the point where you want to start pressing. Not yet, but you're getting there. You also got to think about when do you want to pull the goalie. It's only a one-goal game, but this is still, this is the playoffs. You've got to pull this goalie. I would say probably at about 1:30, the goalie's got to be coming out. So you want to have possession in the offensive end at that point in time.
And here might be a chance. Lubin flings it wide of the net, but it's kept in, and then with the body, Trevor Sabo is able to deflect it. The Bobcats to Craddock. Fires it ahead, just tries to feed it in. He's looking for one of his teammates, and Craddock's instead going to take it himself. He grabs it, gets it out to Gross at the point. Gross fires. It's deflected off a stick and into the net. Erickson again. He's been great on defense.
Guess who? Erickson with yet another block. We're probably looking at about 7 to 8 blocks for Erickson this game alone. He has been fantastic for Iowa State, and it's plays that aren't going to show up. It's not like, he doesn't have 3 points. He doesn't have 2 goals, but he's all over the place defensively.
Evangelisti will take the face-off for the Bobcats. 2:27 to go in the third period. 3-2 Iowa State leads. Here's Hazel, fires it at the net, too high. And Grolum's able to clear it for the time. And the puck finds his stick again, where he just flings it up back to Ohio's net.
Jimmy Thomas has been edging closer and closer to those hash marks.
And now Grolum's going to take it. A little bit of a turnover there. Just tries to fire it at Thomas. Nearly worked. And then a cross-ice pass back to Grolum, but nothing doing. And here come the Bobcats. They don't have numbers, but Evangelisti feeds it in anyway. Takes it in himself. And Thomas is off. 1:47 to go in this game. Big hits behind the net. Here come the Bobcats trying to get a chance. They feed it in front. Kick back out. Evangelisti has it. He gets it to Hazel. No goalie now for the Bobcats. Shot save by Gedeke. And then a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah, I've said it before, especially now with 1:35 left. Don't take a dumb penalty. When that whistle blows, stop. If they want to hit you, let them hit you. Take a dive. Draw one. If either one of these teams takes a penalty like that, you're going to see a coach with a tomato face over on the sideline because he's going to be very angry.
95 seconds to go. Ohio needs a goal to stay in this tournament and keep their season alive. The face-off on their offensive end. Can they win the draw, and can they get some good opportunities here at the net? Is the real question. Gross flings it ahead. Gedeke tries to get his glove on it, but can't. The puck is out in front of the net. Gedeke's on his back, just trying to push it with his legs. It looks like puck is loose. And Uglum is going to corral it, but we got players on the floor here. Uglum just tries to clear it. Can't. Hazel keeps it in. Over to the point. Shot deflected by Halbach. Ohio has it. Gross. Shot. And a nice save. Bodies were on the deck. Hazel just tried to fire it one time. Under a minute to go in this game. It's 3-2. Icing called.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to ice the puck like that, you might as well try to get it close to the yawning cage that's down there. That one was in the corner. Like, I mean, you might as well take a shot at the net because if you pot one home, that's game over. Instead, now you can't make a change. Both teams have already used their timeout, so you can't get fresh legs in that sense either.
Like you said, the net is now empty for Ohio as they trail by one. 56.9 to go on the clock. Face off in their offensive end. It's going to be Evangelisti. And here we go. Iowa State wins it, flings it forward.
That's a trip call up coming on Ohio.
And yeah, they're going to get a trip on Uglum.
Or not. I thought it was a trip.
And it looked like the official did raise his hand. I thought the same as the puck sails out of bounds, but no call. No call, 40 seconds.
What I think happened, we saw the player go down, the arm immediately shot up. It was an icing, and it looked to both of us as if it was a tripping call upcoming. I believe that the ref was raising his arm for the ice, which wound up being negated anyway.
Yeah, so our little bit of a mistake there, a little bit of misreading the hand signals, but 40 seconds, Ohio's down one. They've pulled their goalie, and they need to get a chance here. Houston, and now another, got a whistle, 35 seconds. 5 seconds just ran off that clock. And every second is crucial now for the Bobcats. Every single second as Thomas skates back on in the net.
Yeah, he's going to park himself right at the hash marks. If Ohio wins this draw, he's going to shoot right off.
And they do win the draw. They get control of the puck. Thomas will skate off, but it looks like a shot was fired. And Gedeke didn't have any trouble corralling it, but that was more for the face-off to get it going here close to the net. 25 seconds to go. Need that one-time chance. Maybe a rebound, a deflection that goes in. Anything you can get right now if you're Ohio, just got to fire it at the net.
Yeah, you got to take any shot you can get. At the same time, as Thomas came off, the extra skater came on a little bit early, and the referee just had a word with the coach, said, hey, be careful, I will give you a too many men for that. So very close call there for Ohio. If they took a too many men call here with 25 seconds left, that would just be disheartening.
So we're set to face it off. Ohio needs to win this draw if they want to have a chance to tie it. They do. Hazel has it up at the point, but it's blocked away. And that's Aaron Azevedo with the block. And Olsen will maintain control. There's 16 seconds left. Iowa State's just got to feed it out to clear it. 10 seconds now. The Cyclones just trying to play keep away, trying to run that clock out. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They feed it ahead. Gedeke knocks it with his pads. 1 second, and time has expired. Iowa State moves on to the semifinal round on Monday.
What a game. What a finish. Iowa State takes the lead at 1 point alone in this game. They took the lead at 3-2, and they never gave it up. That defense was swarming once they took the lead, and it wasn't due to lack of try from Ohio. They had 38 shots on goal. It's a great game from Gedeke to stop 36 of 38 shots.
And Gedeke really was the story. Like you said, defense hanging on to that lead once they got it at 3-2, but they battled back. They dealt with adversity. They go down 1-0. They tie it. They go down 2-1, they tie it again, and then they take the lead in the third period to make it 3-2. So an outstanding effort from both sides. Iowa State able to get more and move on. So, I mean, Quinn, we saw a heck of a battle here today. The Cyclones, what do you expect from them going forward? How do they continue this great hockey?
Oh, the way their defense has been, and then, you have great defense, and then you still have offense that's being produced. You have Uglum, you have Azevedo. Those two guys are playing fantastic hockey right now, and as this play continues, you got to look to those two guys to produce your points, and then every once in a while you might get points from guys that aren't your typical goal scorers, like Grolum. 2 goals in the last one, didn't do anything in this one, but he's not someone you're expecting to get offense out of. So suddenly you start getting offense from guys who aren't used to producing. You're still getting offense from the guys that do produce, and your defense is still swarming on the back end, and you're getting incredible play from Gadecki. I mean, Gadecki in the regular season had a 2.5 goals allowed average. So far he's had a shutout and let in 2. He's playing incredible hockey right now, and that's exactly what you need. Sometimes a goalie who has a decent regular season can get hot in the playoffs and carry your team to a championship, and Gadecki might be doing exactly that.
Yeah, they got the right formula going on right now, and they're already in the semifinals, so just 2 more wins for them if they want to take this championship, take the cup. Just such a big win for the Cyclones. Uglum with the goal in the third period was huge. I mean, this guy came in, it's 2-2. You don't know what you're going to get coming into the third period, but Iowa State really was the aggressor there. Wasn't scared of Ohio at all, played their game, controlled the pace, and they were able to push that third goal across in the third period because they got a chance. They took advantage of an opportunity, and Ohio just didn't do it as well as Iowa State did it today.
Yeah, Ohio definitely a good team, a great program, and I'm sure they'll be back here next year looking for it again. And if you're Iowa State, the best that Iowa State's ever done, they've gone to the semifinals 2 times, but they've never gone to the championships. So they're praying that history doesn't repeat itself. This is their 3rd trip to the semifinals. Maybe 3rd time is the charm for Iowa State. This could be the one. They're going to get either Minot or Adrian. If they get Adrian, you're going up against the defending champions. Obviously, that's a team that's going to want to get there. If you go up against Minot, that's a team that's been at this stage so many times, but they've never quite been able to make it. Maybe this could be their time. So many teams that want it so bad, and it's only going to go to one team. Only one team, those 3, can make it to the finals at all. So it's going to be a huge game upcoming for Iowa State and a great opportunity for them.
So Iowa State will definitely be watching this next game patiently waiting to see who they will face in the semifinal round. Like you said, Ohio, a storied program, 4-time national champions here in the ACHA national tournament. But Iowa State is going to be looking at that next opponent, who they're going to have to face, and they can all watch it here on the ACHA network. Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski, so glad you could join us. We had such a great contest. Make sure you keep it with us all day and the rest of the week for action on the ACHA network. Your final score from the Comerica Center, Game 1 on Day 4, 3-2, the Iowa State Cyclones defeating the Ohio Bobcats. Everybody, signing off, Justin DeVellis, Quinn Kuski. Thanks for joining.